Live from Minute Maid Park on My 20, it's Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers play Game 2 of their 3-game weekend series. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros had a 2-0 lead last night. Milwaukee roared from behind with late runs to win at 8-2. Now Game 2 of the series, and the Astros face a lefty, Chris Narveson. JD?
Yeah, it's an interesting contrast tonight because it's a kind of a crafty left-hander, Chris Narveson, going for the Brewers. He's not going to overpower you with his fastball. Has a very good changeup, really knows how to move the ball around the strike zone. This will be the Astros' fourth look at him this year, so hopefully they can take advantage of that. Contrast it with the power game of Bud Norris, who really broke that out last time out in San Francisco. Punched out 10 in 7 innings, got a no decision, but it was about as good as we've seen Bud in terms of his stuff. Again, 10 punch outs, just 1 walk in that start against the Giants.
Coming up next, Carlos Lee still has the hitting streak alive, and it's his bobblehead night. That usually means at least 1 hit. We'll see what it means tonight in just a moment.
Saturday night at Minute Maid Park for Astros baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers were sailing on their way to the National League Central Championship. And the Houston Astros, the new-look Houston Astros, were playing much better baseball with a whole lot of new faces, including those that were called up after September 1st. It's a Saturday. The Saturday uniforms are in effect. The Astros have just taken the field, and that sends Bud Norris to the mound as he will just about get his warm-up pitches underway. But let's go to the booth because it's Saturday. That means we've got a threesome upstairs. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, and Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff providing our usual Saturday karma.
Right.
And
we're going to win this game. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, if I'm here, we're going to win.
Maggie, he stepped off a plane literally 30 minutes ago. That's how dedicated this guy is.
I am.
He's been studying statistics.
I was waiting for a hurricane to come, so I would have to call you guys and say I can't actually make it here.
Well, you're here, and
we need the rain.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yes.
Now, here's the starting lineup for Ron Renick's first-place Brewers, who have an 8.5-game lead coming into today. Niger Morgan in center, Jerry Hairston Jr. at second, Ryan Braun in left, Prince Fielder at first, Mark Kotsay gets the start in right field. It's Taylor Green, the lefty, hitting third baseman, getting a call there. George Kataris, the catcher, Craig Counsell at shortstop, Chris Narveson, the pitcher. Ron Renick referred to how tough Bud Norris is on right-handed batters, so that's why Casey McGee and Betancourt, who was hurt last night, and some of the others are resting. But very good last time out, JD.
Yeah, boy, very, very good at making that start in San Francisco, just about a half an hour from where he grew up. 7 innings, allowed just 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 10. Really complete control of that game all afternoon long. Defensively, now the Astros have Martinez. Jason Bourgeois gets a start in center. Jason Michaels in right. Infield of Paredes, Barmes, Altuve, and Lee. Carlos Corporon is the catcher for Norris here tonight.
Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you a question right now. I'm going to call you guys out right now. Who is the National League MVP, if you called it right today?
Well, we've been trying to debate that amongst ourselves.
I know, but I don't listen to you guys, so I need to know.
That's a wise ploy.
It gets boring and weird after a while.
Yeah.
About the 7th inning, JD starts to come up with some stuff that I don't even understand.
It's August, man.
Who is the National League MVP?
I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you my guy, and then we can discuss the reasons why later. Matt Kemp is my guy.
Okay. How about you, Baggy?
As much as I don't want to say it, I think it's the guy downstairs that bats third for these guys.
Well, I was going to go in that direction also, because Ryan Braun is only 1 point off the batting lead right now.
Yep.
Leading the league in slugging. He's third in on-base average. Just a fantastic year for Ryan.
Yeah, it's pretty. He's pretty special.
The guy behind him in the lineup has got a pretty compelling case too.
Yeah, he does. He does.
But,
well, when you hit third, it's a little bit different when you hit fourth, because the guy in third generally creates more runs for you because you move guys around. You don't have a chance to hit with more runners in scoring position. The guy that hits third generally doesn't have as many opportunities. And he does a pretty good job at what he does. Now, not saying that Prince is not awesome, because Prince is awesome. But, I don't know, I just think it's a little different when you hit third.
Very good point.
Of course, I hit third.
Well,
I said that.
You have that perspective on things. 3 and 2, but you also hit fourth sometimes too. And that's a good point. Number 3 guys really got to be the guy, I think.
It's your best hitter, generally.
That's right. Altuve in. Dropped by Carlos Lee at first. Not sure what happened there. Altuve underhanded it over, and Carlos didn't hang on. So Morgan is on. And that's a speedy base runner with 10 steals and 13 tries. It's going to be an error on Lee.
in a little bit of an awkward position, but obviously still should have caught the ball. So it's E3 and a dangerous base runner aboard here.
And Morgan looks over at his third base coach for signs, with Hairston getting set to bat at 275, 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. And now there might be an injury. Bud Norris with the trainer Nate Lucero coming out.
Just looking for a tongue depressor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cleats. What do you think, Brownie? Who's your guy?
I would go with Braun, and I agree exactly with what you said. The number 3 guy, now in this case, Braun has 91 runs batted in. Fielder 105. Well, how many times has Fielder knocked in Braun? Braun's on base all the time.
Now, I like Jimmy too. I mean, Kemp he's definitely willing of the same award. It just he's not playing on the team that.
Well, see, that's what my position on the MVP. I've always tried to just think who's the guy who's having the best year and take winning out of the equation. So I treat it as not the most valuable player award, but I kind of think of it in terms of just who's having the best year. And I think the numbers that Kemp's putting up in Dodger Stadium gives him a little bit of an advantage. But certainly,
you being a pitcher, what do you think about Verlander in the American League?
Well, I don't know.
I know exactly how you feel.
No, I almost wish that a pitcher had never received the MVP award, that they just treated it as 2 separate awards. The Cy Young is
it should be.
most valuable pitcher, And the MVP is, or put a different name on it and call it the Best Position Player Award. And so you take out all this kind of, if his team's winning and not winning and all that stuff.
Right.
Who's the best pitcher, who's the best player?
To support your point, JD, Kemp's hitting .321. He has 31 homers, 102 runs batted in. He's right up there with the leaders, not very far off the batting lead, and very close to the home run and RBI lead on a club that's nowhere close to Milwaukee's production.
But you can't tell me
he's got 37 bags, too.
Yeah. Does he have that many?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I gotta start paying attention to his baseball stuff.
He could be 40-40 baggy, and that's pretty compelling.
No, I agree with you. I can't argue that. Brad used to tell me when he played with the Dodgers he was the best athlete besides Carlos Beltran that he ever played with.
Okay.
But it's a little different to play for a team that has nothing to play for than it is with a team that actually does have something to play for.
Sure.
And this Milwaukee club, I mean, they lead our division. A little bit different, and it really is.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is there's no clear-cut guy this year. Go any number of ways.
In both leagues.
Yeah. Sported foul by Hairston. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Who do you pick in the American League?
Well, and then the other guy we haven't talked about in the National League who's come on like gangbusters lately is Joey Votto. He's got monster numbers again this year. And we've just had a 10-minute conversation about the MVP, and Albert Pujols' name didn't come up. That's the first time in a decade that's happened.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's a decade.
Yeah.
Well, how about Curtis Granderson?
Mm-hmm. And for me, I like Batista for the same reasons I like Kemp.
Well, yeah. And everybody on TV is talking about Ellsbury for the Red Sox. And what do those guys think? Kidding.
Adrian Gonzalez has the batting lead and total base lead, and more hits than anybody.
But how many bags does Ellsbury have? And plays great center field.
Yeah. Very good point.
I mean, I don't. That looks like he's
36 bags for Ellsbury.
Yeah. And he's got 20-some homers, doesn't he?
24.
Yeah.
Okay. Granderson leads the league in runs batted in, catches everything in center field.
Right.
Tough call there, too. You guys are right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that's clear-cut right now.
Nope.
And I've listened to a lot of people talk about the American League Cy Young. I mean, some people say Weaver, some people say Verlander. What would you say, Jimmy?
Well, without really digging into the numbers, I would say Verlander.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, come on. He's got a no-hitter. He's got 20 wins.
It seems like he flirts with a no-hitter every time he goes out there.
He could win a ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
He could win the pitching triple crown.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to ignore that.
I agree with you, Brownie.
He's only, .14 higher in ERA than Weaver.
How many starts does he have?
He has 30 starts.
So he's got, what, 5 more?
Yep. 5 more. Runner goes, and it's popped up. Now Norris is calling, but nobody at first. Now Carlos is going to make the catch. And it's 1 out. And Braun comes up. And Morgan was running on that 3-2 pitch. Braun has done a lot of damage against the Astros. 345, 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Braun had a big 2-run single last night in the 7th inning that really helped to make a difference in the game. Gave the Brewers the lead 3-2. 332, second in the league by 1 point. 25 homers, 91 batted in. Leads in runs scored with 93. Tough out.
He is a tough out. How many strikeouts does he have, Brownie?
He has 79. 53 walks.
It's not bad.
No, it's not. Pretty good balance.
Today's game. That's what I mean. 120 times a year. Horrible.
That would be the one knock. I don't know if knock is the right word on Braun. He doesn't walk a ton, but he's got an on-base percentage over 400. So.
Did you see his face plant the other day, Beggy?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you missed a beauty.
Well, I'm looking at JD's, not his iPad, Brownie.
Safe at second, a steal by Morgan. All right, he got his laptop out.
He's got his laptop, but I don't know. I guess it is kind of close.
As was this play. Corporon, his throwing's been much improved lately. His success rate at throwing base runners out really hasn't gone up a whole lot, but he's made much better throws.
Well, a lot of that comes with, our pitchers. I mean, they got to be closer to the plate. They have, quicker to the plate. Bud, I don't know if Bud's quick. I would bet he's. Oh, my goodness.
Inside the park homer? Not quite.
He's laughing, too, which you got to like a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's got long. Oh, my goodness. And he's got long hair, so you got to like that just a little bit.
It's great in slow-mo.
You can set that to music.
JD can never say that he has long hair.
Strikeout, but he's going to reach, and Corporon can't get him. This inning is really backfiring on the Astros. Bud Norris going to have to try to work really hard to keep things together here now with runners at first and third and one out after a strikeout.
So the first man reaches on that error by Carlos, and now Braun reaches as this ball slips through the wickets on Corporon. And here comes Fielder, a man who's hitting better than 500 against the Astros this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially against us, yeah.
Morgan looked like he was losing tire tread as he was dropping his gloves on the way over to third base. Now it's first and third, and Fielder had 4 hits last night. He was on base all 4 times. His pass ball was the ruling on the Braun strikeout.
And by the way, there's nothing worse as a hitter to have to actually run to first base after you strike out. And even being safe, you're kind of embarrassed.
Fielder takes it. It's ball 1. Here's the 9th inning last night, and Fielder got one up. It had a slice on it, Baggy. It started out to left center, and then it sliced back and made it into the seats.
Well, you know what? Minute Maid takes it, gives it, and all.
Yep.
You don't know here. It's just crazy.
That's a good pitch for a strike, but J.D. Martinez said he was sure that ball was going to be in left center field. He headed back toward the bullpen, and then it moved back to his right and bounced on top of that railing. So Fielder hit his 31st last night. Braun has 31 steals. Fielder looks at it. It's 2-1.
And trying to stay away from Fielder. The last time Bud faced Milwaukee in this ballpark, he tried to get in on Prince with a cutter, and he hit it into the seats. That's not to say you can't go in there on him, but you can understand why Bud was thinking more away than in, given what happened in that at bat.
That's cued foul. 2-2 to Fielder. Bud is 3-1 in his career against the Brewers with a 3.5 ERA in 6 starts. Houston is 4-2 in his 6 starts against Milwaukee.
I was thinking right now that JD that Bud's going to try and bury that slider down and in. I wouldn't want to stay away from him.
Yeah, I think he's little.
Bounce slowly to third. Paredes will throw. No, he juggles now. Late throw. He gets him anyway as the run scores. This inning is a disaster defensively so far, and it's 1-0 Brewers.
That was a product right there. I know I can get a ribby if I just put the ball in play.
Yeah, I'm not going to take my walk.
No, I'm not taking any walks. Look at him shaking 5 all the way around. He was not taking a walk, I promise you. I've been there, done that.
Yeah. 106 runs batted in.
And Prentice really made the only play he had and was not going to get Morgan at home.
Now Braun on second, 2 outs, and it's Mark Kotsay. Kotsay, a .257 hitter with 2 homers, has 24 runs batted in. Left-handed hitters .288 against Norris. Right-handed hitters .203. And it's ball 1. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning.
Ronnie, I think the last time I was here, Kotz was hitting under 200. Obviously, he's doing some damage right now. Yeah. He's got 210 at bats now.
He's been a very good fill-in player for them with all the injuries they've had to their outfielders. And nice to have a veteran like Mark when you're in first place and headed for the playoffs, Baggy.
Yep. Oh, veteran players, they mean so much to a ball club.
Well, those numbers verify what you suspected on Kotsay. And when the Brewers were here last in early August, they swept a 3-game series.
Well, this changeup's going to be a very important pitch for Bud tonight with all these left-handed hitters.
I agree, Jimmy. That's going to be his go-to pitch, except for maybe the slider inside.
In the air, J.D. Martinez over. With very little fielding support, Bud Norris gets through the first inning. The Brewers getting a run on no hits with an error and a pass ball. They lead it 1-0. He talks with Doug Brocail, and the Astros come up in the bottom half against the veteran lefty Chris Narveson. With this lineup, Jason Bourgeois in center field, a former Brewer, followed by Jose Altuve at second base, J.D. Martinez in left, Carlos Lee at first, Jimmy Paredes at third base, Jason Michaels in right field, Clint Barmas the shortstop, Carlos Poperon the catcher for Bud Norris.
Narveson, you see a breakdown on him. First half, second half, 6-5 before the break, and 18 starts with a 4.75 ERA. Second half, he's made 7 starts, and he's been very good. 3-1, 2.97 ERA. He spent some time on the DL after cutting himself with a pair of scissors while repairing his glove.
Or a stretch Suba.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that was a nasty accident. Jason Bourgeois first up. Taking strike one, 284 for Jason. 1 homer, 13 runs batted in. He's hit lefties exceptionally well, 367 in 79 at bats. Narveson gets the corner.
This is his first start since August 22nd. He left that start with an injured fingernail, and he's pitched once in relief between that date and tonight. So it would be understandable if he was a little bit out of sync.
Sure would. Crazy injury, though, that he had. Looping liner, Counsell back. It's in the left field for a single for Bourgeois, leading off the Astros' first inning. Well, you might want to tell a guy like Narveson to stay away from sharp objects in a pennant race. But nonetheless, he's back in pitching. Here's a look at that hit.
Wow.
Well, again, you got to stay back. Boy throws a lot of off-speed stuff. Good slow curveball, real good changeup. Brewers defensively have Braun Morgan and Kotsay covering the outfield. Taylor Green getting his first career start at third base. And Counsell, Hairston Fielder rounding out the infield. Kataris behind the dish.
Jose Altuve received the ceremonial first pitch from Chino Inacho tonight. Concert coming up after the game. He's a big fan of Chino Inacho, has them on his iPod, and he got to meet them, had some photos taken during batting practice. 304, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Showing bunt. That one gets away from Taras a little bit. Ball one with Bourgeois on at first. Chino Inacho.
Y'all can do it at the same time, and they do.
Oh, there's 2 people.
Yeah.
I thought it was only 1.
Well, we haven't heard them yet in concert.
And they're the same size as
Same size.
Altuve.
Yeah. They see eye to eye very well.
Almost the same size as Craig Biggio.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
They can walk underneath our set right here. No offense, guys. I'm just trying to make fun of Craig.
Yeah, take collateral damage with you. You're going to do it.
Astros have won 4 of 5. They are 3-1 on this homestand. If they win tonight or tomorrow, it'll be their second winning homestand in a row. Bourgeois draws the throw. Taras has thrown out 2 of 18 trying to steal. Bourgeois 24 of 30.
Which means he's running at some point here.
Yes, sir. The Astros have been effective. 15 of 17 in base stealing against Milwaukee this year. Foul back by Altuve. 1-2. Altuve has not had 2 straight games in the majors without a hit.
I'll tell you something. This kid, I like him a lot. Fans in Houston, he's just not scared. He's just up there and he's hacking and he's running. I just like him.
When you saw him in the minors, did you think?
Yeah, it was the same way. I said, man, why do we send this kid to A-ball? This kid's good.
Okay.
And we sent him to A-ball, and now he's in the big leagues. And, congrats to the Astros organization.
Yeah.
After he just struck out, but that doesn't matter.
It's only one AB.
That's
He's
it.
had a lot of good ones.
No, I like him a lot. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. It's not the first time anybody's pulled off a ball.
Not at all.
No.
JD, as you mentioned, the Astros are seeing Narveson for the 4th time this year. Here's JD Martinez now on a 4-game hitting streak, 292, 5 homers. He's driven in 29.
29 and 120 at-bats. Pretty good.
Yes, it is good. That's ball 1. Only Moises Alou had more runs batted in. Do you remember him?
I've seen him.
In his first 100 at-bats as an Astro than this guy.
Pretty good career.
And Mo was at a peak when he came here.
Yeah.
Not a rookie.
No.
And he was on a very good offensive club. Put a lot of people on base, and he capitalized on those opportunities.
That's good. Well, that's what he did. He hit.
And JD feels that he concentrates better when he's hitting the men on base than when nobody's on.
Yeah, he loves it. He loved it. I promise you could walk in today and get 2 hits. I promise you. Man was amazing.
The thing about Alou that everybody remarked on was he could hit the tough pitchers.
Yes, he could. Jeff Kent, him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. JD just worked on the 5 gun.
Yeah. Foul back with a runner going. 1-1.
I did too. I couldn't hit anybody tough. You roll Kevin Brown out there, I'm going to go 0 for 4 in a heartbeat.
Brewers pitching has the best ERA in the majors in the last 44 games, 2.76 ERA. Zach Greinke had some good comments last night after the game, even though his numbers were good. 6 innings, 2 runs. He gave up 9 hits. He thought the Astros hitters had a lot better approach than the last time he faced them about a month ago.
He had to work awfully hard. A lot of deep
hits,
counts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Narvison's working on the base runner, Bourgeois.
You guys watch a lot more baseball than I do at this particular time in my life. But do you think this team can win? I'm talking about Milwaukee.
Brewers? We had this conversation last night. And
I had to pay attention, but
but we'll review for you. My point was, I think the Phillies are going to be favored in any playoff series they play. So, until they get to the World Series, and if they're playing the Red Sox, it could be a pick'em, or the Yankees even. But you wouldn't be shocked if the Brewers were to beat the Phillies in a short series. Yeah, because I think the Brewers, their lineup stands
their
right
offense,
there. Maybe a little bit better than the Phillies. And the Brewer pitching is certainly capable. You got Gallardo and Greinke. Markham has been very good.
Very good, yes.
Martinez is down on strikes, 2 outs.
I just don't see how you can bet against the Phillies, though.
No, and I felt the same way last year, Baggy, but the Giants beat them.
They did. Well, they got tons of pitching, too.
Absolutely. Narveson has a way of pulling the string. Very good finesse pitcher. Carlos Lee on a 13-game hitting streak, 275, 13 homers, 75 runs batted in. During his 13-game streak, he's been a 440 hitter. And it's his bobblehead night. He is 6 for 16 lifetime against Narveson with 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Hit a 3-run bomb off Narveson here in Bud Norris's shutout win on May 1st, 5-0. Carlos takes ball 1. Yeah, isn't that the truth, though? When it comes playoff time,
just don't know.
Some guys rise above what they've done.
Just don't know.
Yeah. Becomes usually tougher to hit in the playoffs than during the regular season. They're going way outside. Katarza throws sails, and Harrison did a good job to keep it from going into center field. Steal for Bourgeois is 25th.
Yeah, he's got a run right there. You got to give us a chance to get a run out of this deal.
Narveson, despite all the pickoff throws, Bourgeois able to get the bag on him. Tried to shorten his delivery, didn't use much of a leg kick, but still has kind of a long arm, slow delivery despite the quick step.
Now it's 2-0. Redis on deck. Three balls, no strikes.
I could have promised you that changeup right there. Carlos is not going to get anything to hit right now. He's, they're going to try and pitch to Paredes right here.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Show pitch right here. So if I'm Carlos right here, I'm thinking some sort of changeup is coming, or breaking ball, or whatever. I can't see a fastball coming right now.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm guessing.
Good time to think that way, though, the way his style is.
Oh, finesse little changeup right over the outside corner.
I'm thinking the same thing again, too.
And if you're Kataris, you're thinking, well, boy, we've gone away. We've gone soft. We could probably jam him if my pitcher could get it in there, but that's the risk if you don't make the pitch. And nothing wrong with throwing what he just threw. I mean, if you can repeat that, there's not a whole lot. Carlos could punch it into right field maybe, but you take your chances with that pitch.
If I'm there, I'm pitching to Jimmy. I'm not pitching to Carlos Lee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's funny, the psychology, this may be what's going on between Kataris and Narveson right now. You fall behind a hitter like Carlos, you got a base open, so you're going to just be real careful. And now he's made 2 perfect pitches right on the corner on the knees to get back into the count. And Narveson's probably thinking, well, I'd rather just try to finish him off now. And Kataris is probably saying, let's stick with the game plan. Let's still be careful here.
Got a rookie on deck.
That's out to left field. Braun comes in for it.
Change it.
Yeah, and he got him leaning a little bit for the 3rd out. No runs ahead. A man stranded. 1-0 Milwaukee after 1.
September 3rd, 1986, when Billy Hatcher homered in the 18th for an 8-7 win in Chicago. The game had been suspended in the 14th the day before. It got dark. That was pre-lights. Old-time baseball. Hatch, the big hit.
Way to go, Hatch.
Hatch with a famous homer in the Gloman.
2 years before lights came to Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Now here's a young lefty, Taylor Green, lefty hitter playing third base. 24 years old, from British Columbia in Canada. He got his second major league hit last night. He's 2 for 2. And looking at ball one after an excellent year at AAA for the Brewers. Green put up some very nice numbers at Nashville. 336, 22 homers, 88 runs batted in. And
wears a good number too, though.
Yeah, he does wear a good number. 5 looks good on him. He was selected to the All-PCL team. Strike makes it 2-1.
How do you get number 5? Well, I guess I got number 5 in the beginning.
Yeah. Trying to remember number 5, Brewers. Nobody comes to mind. 3 balls and a strike. In 07, Taylor Green was the Brewers minor league player of the year. He hit .327 that year, drove in 86 at Class A West Virginia.
Yeah, because he's hitting 1,000.
He rips a line drive. He is still hitting 1,000.
He should stay number 5.
Yeah, he's hitting 3,000 now. He's 3 for 3 in his major league career.
I wish that's the way it worked.
Got the 3-1 pitch and whacked it into right field. Now he's aboard for the catcher, Kataris. Kataris at 241 with 3 homers has driven in a dozen.
You're a young kid, though. That's what you want to see. You want to see somebody at 3-1 pitch. They get aggressive. I hate to keep talking about the Brewers. I'm trying to talk about the Astros.
Yeah.
But that first inning took like an hour and a half. So we got to make up something while we're here.
That's what we do. We make it up.
I know. I could tell him like the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. JD comes up with stuff that I never heard in my entire life.
1 and 1.
We might get there in the 5th tonight. We might go early we might go to the pen early tonight.
Well, we're told that Jamie Quirk wore number 5 with the Brewers, Baggy. So there's one guy.
I thought he played with the Kansas City his entire life.
Well, just about.
Well, I know he played with the Athletics for sure.
Jeff Jenkins wore number 5. We
Yes,
should
he
remember
did.
that.
Yes, he did. That's exactly right.
B.J. Surhoff wore number 5.
I didn't know that. I knew Jeff Jenkins did.
Okay.
Whatever, that kick can hit right there.
He can hit.
He's not taking.
The roller goes foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This Milwaukee club 4th in runs scored. But things really clicked when their pitching got good. How did you
think
select?
you think that's a coincidence, Brownie?
No. How did you select the number 5 anyway?
Dennis Laborio gave it to me
for you.
because they traded Larry Henderson for me, who was one of his favorites, and I was from Boston, and I played for the Red Sox. That's how it happened.
Okay. J.D. Martinez back into left field toward the corner, makes that grab on a run.
So instead of just assigning you a number, he said you can take any number you want.
No, he gave it to me.
He gave you 5.
Yeah. I mean, nobody gets single-digit numbers anymore.
That's true.
I mean, everybody's 67, 98, 28. I mean, just crazy numbers.
Well, was there a number 5 on the Red Sox that he liked?
I don't know. I just think he did it just because.
Okay, we'll have to ask him.
Yeah. They traded me for Larry Anderson. I mean, I was a non-roster guy.
Greg Counsell, 168. Getting the call at shortstop tonight. Betancourt got hit by a pitch last night. He's a little banged up, and good chance with the right-hander Norris, who's tough on right-handed hitters, to get Counsell in there. Counsell went through a horrendous slump earlier this year, 0 for 45. And he ended it here in Houston on the 5th of August.
He still looks mad. I would be too.
He tied the longest single-season hitless streak by a position player.
I remember that.
Dave Campbell did it And
Red Sox?
He did it with St. Louis. Yeah.
Wasn't Dave Campbell with the Red Sox?
He might have been. But in '73 when he did it, he was with 3 clubs, including Houston. San Diego, St. Louis, and Houston.
I think Soup played mostly with San Diego.
Yeah,
he did?
Yep.
There was a different Dave Campbell, though, with the Red Sox. I think he was a pitcher, wasn't he?
Oh, you could be right. Soup was he was a pitcher. You're right. Back to the iPad.
Let's Google him. Let's check him out.
Wasn't there a Bill Campbell who pitched?
There we go.
That's Soup. Yeah, you're right. That's it. You're right about it. Trust me, before I got here, it was all about the Red Sox and Yankees. It had nothing else to do.
Narvison's on deck.
I don't want to be remembered about that kind of stuff either.
Okay.
No. 0 for 48.
Yeah.
Or whatever he is.
That's got to wear on a guy.
God.
Especially a guy who doesn't play every day.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
You might be sitting around for 3 days without an at-bat.
Yeah.
With this offer.
Yeah. I think you guys are right. I think he was a pitcher. My dad's at home going, are you kidding me, son?
Greg Counsell turned 41 a couple weeks ago. 2-2.
I saw Jim Thome just turned 41.
Yeah. He's a no-brainer Hall of Famer, isn't he, Baggy?
Yeah, no question about it. To me, he's not. They keep talking about Johnny Damon. Come on, you got to talk about Jim Thome first.
Sure. Carlos takes it to first base. Green to second on out number 2. Brewers are third in batting average and runs per game, 4.4. Up there in homers. And an ERA 7th, but lately much better than that.
They don't need the stolen bases.
True.
They just hit homers.
They can mash.
Especially that guy right there on the right-hand side of the screen.
He's a dynamic player.
He's a good kid, too.
Narvison at 159 has 7 hits and 44 at-bats. He's driven in 4 runs. So Fielder is really going to be involved with probably one of those market-setting years, don't you think? Do you think Fielder should make more than Pujols? How do you think that's going to work out?
I think they're both going to be very happy no matter what.
Good diplomatic answer, but true. Well, some say, well, Fielder is younger and he's a left-handed hitter.
Right.
Gives him a certain advantage.
Well, Milwaukee, and you guys can pull this up on your iPads and stuff, but what are they drawing right now? They got to be making some money.
Yeah. Their payroll went up to $90 million. There's Pujols leading with 34 homers.
I know, but I mean, Milwaukee would be smart to re-sign him.
Sure.
But I don't know, I don't know who his agent is. I don't know what he wants.
I believe it's Scott Boras.
Well, that's scary in its own right.
Right.
But I like his attitude. I like him. I would try and re-sign that kid.
Well, they're averaging 37, 220 at home, 5th best.
That's pretty
in the
good.
league.
Yeah.
Behind the Phillies, the Giants, the Cubs, and the Dodgers.
Who can't afford payroll? The Dodgers.
Surprisingly, the Dodgers still continue to draw pretty well.
That is surprising.
Although they're not putting them. There's probably a lot of season tickets.
Oh, they just
sold. People aren't showing up.
Right.
Yes. You saw that when we were there.
Yeah, no doubt.
3-2. Pitch count has mounted for Bud Norris.
I would try and re-sign him. Or I wouldn't mind him wearing, what's his uniform number? Let's look up here. 28.
28.
Would look good in an Astro uniform.
Oh.
Well, with the damage he's done here this year.
Yeah, might as well.
Strikeout for Bud Norris. That's number 2 of the night. It's no runs a hit and the man left. And it's 1-0 Milwaukee. Has come up in the bottom of the second. Jason Castro continues his rehab from knee surgery from the injury in spring training. He is not going to be playing for the Astros this year, but still, as he's come from Florida to be with the Astros this week, able to take some batting practice, able to do some catching drills and come back after that knee surgery. So hopefully he will be ready to go in spring training next year. He probably will play in the instructional league. That's the plan. Last season 205, but his defensive value to the team is high. And the other day Brad Mills said he was hopeful that Castro might be able to start maybe about half the games next year.
I think he's going to start 120 next year.
120
at least. I think he's going to be treated as a frontline starting catcher. I mean, given the opportunity to do that anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't he have to be?
I think he has to be. Yeah.
Probably so.
To be honest with you, we got to find out. I mean,
yeah. Just a matter of what that knee. I would be a little concerned about all the knee bends a catcher has to do after that type of surgery.
But it's, you know, it's going to be a full year post surgery.
It's more than a year, isn't it?
And well, he's a young guy. It's not a chronic condition.
Yeah.
So,
how long has it been?
He got hurt in the early first spring training game.
Yeah.
I was there for it.
It's your fault.
Tried to avoid a tag, didn't he?
He was trying to show off for you.
Apparently, I didn't teach the young kid not to run hard in spring training.
Stop trying so hard in spring training.
Yeah, can't make the team out of. Well, actually, you can't make the team out of spring training, but
not on the first day.
No, not when you're bored. You are the starting catcher.
Coretta taps it foul. 1-2 to Jimmy, a 308 hitter with 2 homers, 14 runs batted in.
Way a nice night last night. A couple of knocks, a couple of real nice plays in the field. Very aggressive base running.
Mike Barnett feels that his swing from the right side is a little bit cleaner. 2-2 the count.
Well, it's not as violent as it is from the left side. The left side, he gets a little bit bigger. I mean, but you know what the good thing about the kid is, he's another one that, you know, he'll take a hack at it. He's not scared up there. See, that's not scared.
No, he hits it hard to right center field. Nigel Morgan on the run. Morgan leaping. Wow, that's right. What a play by Morgan up against the fence to the Astros bullpen.
What's his nickname?
Yeah, somewhere from the time that ball was hit and the ball was caught, he turned into T-Plush, the alter ego who has no fear and is tremendously confident.
Right.
And he took away 3 bases from Jimmy Paredes. What a play by Nigel Morgan.
If anybody wants to see it again, you'll see it on SportsCenter tonight.
Over and over again.
But the thing I want you guys to take away from this as the fans is, I want you to see where Jimmy Paredes is after this play was made. And I give the kid a ton of credit for that. And he was past second base. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's good stuff right there. That's what you want to teach. If young kids and if you're a veteran, you want to applaud him for that. I mean, I know he stopped right there, but he's there. He's not just watching the ball and all that. He is there.
Jason Michaels hits a looping line drive single to left field. Now that was quite a catch by Morgan. Took a long leap into that fence. 2 hits for the Astros now as J-Mike comes through and reaches for Barmas. Barmas had a nice night last night with a pair of doubles as well. 247 for Clint, 9 homers, 29 driven in. He now has 23 doubles. Ball 1. Clint is 0 for 7 against Narveson. He was very successful against Zach Greinke with those 2 hits last night. He's 5 for 9 against him lifetime.
Who would you think right there?
Yeah. Some things just hard to compute sometimes. 2-0. JD, tell us about the front foot of Narveson when he delivers the pitch. How that?
What's he doing?
Well, it's like he's throwing a little bit against a stiff leg, but you can.
A little bit across his body.
A little bit. See what you think about it.
Yeah, he does throw a little bit across his body, and a lot of times the pitcher will do that to create some leverage to work against that front side. Help him create some movement.
Okay. Strike makes it 3-1.
When I was coming up as a kid, like in high school, they used to put a line on these indoor mounds, and they put a line right down the middle of it, and you were told to step across that line. And then the longer I pitched, the more it was like, no, you don't have to step across. Then you step on the line, and now some guys would step on the actually like he does.
He's way across his body.
Across it, and that's just because that works for him. That probably creates a little deception. Again, a lot of times guys, sinker ballers will do that because they're able to create some movement by doing that, by creating that leverage, working against that front side.
But are you really you're not teaching that? It's just the way it is.
I think mostly, especially at this level, guys get here doing what they do, and as long as they're successful, you leave them alone. But if they're having problems with command or injury, then you say, this might take some pressure off you.
Like when we had Wade Miller. I mean, trying to correct him, but we couldn't correct that. So I don't know. Can you really correct that, Jimmy? Or
I think in some guys you can. It's like any other walk of life. Some people are really.
But once you get to the big leagues, then
difficult.
Yeah, I think it's
difficult.
So, yeah.
Carlos Corporan, the former Brewer, has driven in 8.
I think this reminds me a little bit, and just the leg part of it. Maybe remember Jimmy Key?
Yeah.
And Jimmy had a real good sinker, real good changeup. He kind of closed off and worked and stepped across his body a little bit.
Good comparison. Very good. Here's the question. You were talking earlier about working inside on right-handed batters. Is that more difficult with that type of delivery for Narveson to do that?
Probably.
Yes.
He'd probably have to throw a cutter to create that movement getting in, but just to throw a four-seam fastball in there, that would be tougher to do.
Yeah, but the cutter's going to get flat like that, don't you think?
Yeah.
If you're not stepping to where you're, well, I don't know where you're supposed to, but whatever. But it's going to get flat out there. Yeah.
And you might even, and then.
Please throw it to me.
So the question would be, could you change your landing spot? Could you be, so good that you could actually open up a little bit to try to get the ball inside?
Well, if we look at it on TV, maybe you go way to let's see, if he's left-handed, way to the other side of the mound, so you got that space that you can do that. Okay?
Yeah, you never see it happen. It's very difficult.
If I'm looking at it here, it's my left side. On TV, it's going to be your right side of the mound.
It's so hard to tinker at this level.
At this level,
but
yes.
I've always thought that, especially for a guy whose stuff is a little short.
He is over there.
Can you move sides of the rubber? Can you change your delivery? And some guys are creative enough that they can do it, and they're gutsy enough to try it.
That's another walk. He has not thrown a first pitch strike to any of the first 8 batters. Bases are loaded now. For Bud Norris with 1 out. Baggy, if you're the hitter and Narveson has that landing spot and he's been working you away, and now you see him rotate the torso a little bit more and step a little bit more toward you.
No, you don't really think that. What I'm thinking, if I'm facing this guy, Brownie, is I'm just going to stay right center the entire time. And if he tries to come and do something different, then I can pull him, but I want to stay towards that Reliant Energy sign out there.
Okay.
I'm not even thinking about anything else. I mean, when I faced Glavine my entire career, I never, ever thought about pulling the ball. It was always right center. You know what? And I might just get a single and all that. I mean, I don't know, I probably hit 1 home run off him when we decided to throw a cutter in or something in. I pulled it, and then he never threw one in to me ever again. I'm just thinking over the second baseman's head. And that's what we have to think about right now.
Norris ground ball to third. Here's Green going to second, and double play turned by Hairston.
Trying to pull a ball away.
No runs a hit. 2 men left after 2. 1-0 Milwaukee.
bit of problem because the dogs will be here. Join the Astros tomorrow for the second dog day of the 2011 season. Purchase the ticket package at the event tomorrow and score bullpen box seats for you and your dog, an Astros dog leash, and great pregame activities for only $40. Visit Astros.com/Dog Day tonight. And promise to not have your dogs chase Junction Jack.
Very animated Niger Morgan / Tony Plush.
T. Plush.
An alter ego, I guess you would call it, that he's had for years, going back to like high school, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah, he and a couple of buddies. And then once there was a story in Sports Illustrated on him this week, and he said when he was out like in clubs and talking in loud music, people couldn't understand Niger Morgan. They couldn't understand his name, and they had all kinds of problems. So he just said, "I'm Tony Plush."
Tony Plush.
Yeah, and then he created this persona, and he had a lot more confidence when he was T. Plush.
Okay.
Yeah, and the stuff, the Brewers are kind of famous for all their hand signals and gestures,
bunch,
and they probably have some problems in days gone by. But the game has changed a little bit. So.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Well, there was the famous bowling pin home run display.
Yeah, probably went a little too far.
How do you think Mr. Ryan would have taken all this kind of stuff?
He'd say it was time for a bow tie.
Some bow ties delivered.
Now, I'm not saying I don't like a little bit of it. I love the,
well,
I love the camaraderie and all that.
Yeah,
and everybody loves you, but everybody. But I know how the old school guys would take care of this.
There's I think what happens in the game is that there are certain practices that it has evolved, and now that many teams do it, so nobody really has the right to get mad.
No. Well,
we had Mickey here throwing spotlights and Lima doing his thing, and the Rangers got the antlers. So
I mean, I get it. I just remember when I came up my first game in the big leagues, I got thrown at my head 3 straight games in a row, and I don't know. I remember when I was falling over the plate trying to hit, and Cammie just telling me, "If I get hit because of you, I'm going to kill you." I said, "Dude, what am I doing? I'm just trying to hit." And he goes, "Yeah, but you're falling all over the plate."
I remember Glenn Wilson screaming at Glenn Davis one time because Glenn took an extra look at a home run he hit, and Willie was up next. "You're going to get me killed."
Yeah. Altuve throws out Morgan. Going out. And it's Hairston coming up next. By the way, it was a wild pitch and not a pass ball in the first inning, allowing Morgan to get to third base and Braun scored. Braun to first on the strikeout. And now Hairston, who popped up earlier.
I remember Sean Casey when he first came up. He hit a home run against us, against the Reds. And he pointed at his teammates. And he tells us on MLB all the time. Excuse me, not his teammates, his boys that were in the stands. And he came by first base. I looked at him. I said, "If you ever do that again, I will personally kill you." And he's never forgotten that, ever. But today's different.
Well, according to that Sports Illustrated story JD was mentioning, the Brewers, Ron Renicky kind of took stock of what he had when he took over as manager over the winter. The personalities on the team, what they like to do. He could have gone old school with a lot of rules. He decided not to.
No, the game evolves, and like I said earlier, I mean, everybody changes teams now, so it's like nobody ever gets mad at anybody anymore.
Into left field.
It's just a different game, and not mean it like it's bad or whatever. It's just different.
Art Howe tells the story of hitting a home run off Bob Gibson.
Oh. I don't want to do that. I didn't even want to hit a home run off of Bob Gibson.
He ran around the bases as fast as he could, ran into the dugout, and was like halfway up the tunnel, and just asking, "Is he looking? Is he looking in here? Is he watching me?"
And the story goes back to after that to me when I hit a home run into the upper deck in Pittsburgh against Dr. Death.
Oh.
Danny Darwin. Yeah. I never looked at it one time. I got around the bases as fast as I could and got in. And they go, "Did you see where you hit that?" I said, "I have no idea, and I don't care." I just don't want him to hit me in the neck the next time up.
Now Braun, who struck out but reached on the wild pitch earlier. That's in the dirt, ball 1. I was reading a story about Gibson one time. He had hit a guy in a spring training game. The guy was a rookie. He went out to dinner with a fellow pitcher that night. And his teammate said, "Why did you hit that guy today?" He said, "Because I think he might be pretty good."
The only guy they said they don't ever throw at was Frank Robinson. Knock him down, he'll take it deep.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Alan Ashby tells a great Frank Robinson story that defines Robinson's personality when he was managing Cleveland and Ash was there.
Yeah.
And towards the end of spring training, I can't remember the name of the pitcher, but Frank sent this guy down to the minor league club. Frank was, I think he was player manager at the time.
Yes.
And the pitcher ripped Frank in the papers the next day. You know, Robinson doesn't know what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. So later that month, they had an exhibition between the big club and the AAA team. And they fouled this off base.
Fly ball to right. J. Mike coming in.
Good call there, Jimmy.
So anyway, so they're playing the exhibition game against the AAA team, and the kid comes in to pitch. So Robbie inserts himself as a pinch hitter.
No way.
Pops up to make an out, runs around first base, runs back across the mound, and one times the pitcher right in the chops and knocks him out.
That's Frank Robinson right there. Yeah.
Fielder got the RBI on the ground out in the first inning.
That was a great call right there. Please, by the time you and I were talking, there was a fastball right down the middle, belt high.
Pop it up.
By the way, we're starting to talk about stuff that doesn't matter anymore.
Strike to Fielder.
Because we're only in the third.
Yeah.
Fans at home are already tired that I'm back.
Cardinals beat Cincinnati 6-4 this afternoon. So Milwaukee needs to win to stay 8.5 in front.
I like their chances.
And they're going to St. Louis, Baggy, after this series.
Yeah.
And then they go home and play the Phillies in a 4-game series.
That's a good pitch right there.
Yes, it is.
I don't care who you are. Left-handed, you're not hitting that pitch.
Hey, you mentioned the Brewers doing well financially, which they must be doing this year.
Right.
With the way they're drawing and prospects of going deep into postseason. Who knows about that? But yeah, Fielder, apparently, you know, they've attempted to sign him and decided to play on out the season. Let him be a free agent.
They should have signed him last year.
Wow. Struck him out. Impressive. Strikeout number 3 for Norris. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 1-0 Milwaukee.
the order coming. But first, a reminder that the NFL season is about to start. I don't suppose you need a reminding of that, but create your fantasy football team today at foxsports.com/fantasy. Play against friends or compete against other Fox Sports users. It's free and very easy to play. Sign up today at foxsports.com/fantasy.
All right, thank you, Greg. 1-0, bottom of the third inning. Jason Bourgeois, the batter. He has one of 2 hits allowed by Narveson. Narveson been shooting for that outside corner much of the night on these right-handed batters. There's ball 1. Bourgeois singled to left and stole second base. Foul ball goes past Bobby Meacham for a 1-1 count. Astros signed Jack Armstrong Jr. and announced him at a press conference here today. He put on uniform number 77, which was worn by his dad. Dad was here for the press conference and his family. His dad made his major league debut in the Astrodome for Cincinnati.
Around 87 or 88, somewhere around there, I'm thinking, right?
Sounds about right.
Jack Jr., who pitched at Vanderbilt.
I saw his dad the other day. I was here doing a little workout, and his dad was here. Long time since I faced him with the Reds.
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Big boy.
Yeah, he is 6'7".
Is that how big he is?
That's how big he is.
How much has he bench?
He's been, couldn't tell you that.
He can do a standing backflip, we know that.
Yeah, that's out number 1. But he's had some elbow issues, so currently he's shut down. But the Astros saw enough of him at Vanderbilt, and then he threw some this summer. Played in some competitive leagues, so he could reassure them that he was all right. So he'll be starting his career next year. And there was something like 11 or 12 players drafted from that Vanderbilt team this year.
They say he was going to instructional league. I think that's what they told me.
Okay. Altuve showing bunt. Takes ball 1. I believe you're right.
That Vanderbilt club must have been loaded. My goodness.
Yeah,
12 players off 1 college team in the draft.
They had 1 first rounder who didn't sign off that club. Don't know what club took him in the first round.
Sounds like the U. Yeah. They're all getting paid.
Also, there's that Altuve. 2 outs.
Sorry, Dolly. University of Miami. I'll make fun of Biz again. Don't worry.
2 down, and it's Martinez now. JD struck out in the first inning. Liner to right field. 5-game hitting streak now for JD Martinez. Hit number 3 for the Astros. And it gets Carlos Lee to the plate for the second time.
Very nice. Stays through this ball. Let me tell you some guys at home. It's very, very difficult to take a curveball and do that and hit it to right field. So you got to be a disciplined hitter that stays through the baseball, and that's what JD did right there. Not Jimmy DeShays, but JD Martinez.
Yeah, if I were hitting, I would have been sitting down right now because if I was left-handed against that curveball, that would have just locked me up.
1 to Lee.
But that goes to your point about having that right center off-field
that's
approach. That's why he was able to do that. I mean,
he can learn how to pull the ball. Right now, he's going that way. He'll learn how to actually take that curveball and ground it to short for a double play. He'll learn that. Trust me. When he gets a little older, he'll learn that. Right now, he's just a good hitter.
It's an acquired skill.
It is. It's amazing how it works.
Out to right center field. Nigel Morgan going for it, but here's Kotze in.
Keep going. Keep going.
And he does into third base. Kotze just clanked it in right center. Would have been the 3rd out. Now the Astros have an opportunity. 1st and 3rd. Jimmy Paredes will be batting.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, if his cohort out there, T. Plush, is going to be on the highlight reel, Mark Kotze just made the blooper reel.
He was
cannot be any more routine than this. And boy, he's been a good outfielder over the years.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he's killing himself right now as Paredes bats.
Right now, Chris Narvison's biggest fan is standing in right field. Come on, lefty, get me off the hook.
Paredes sent one to the right center field wall. Morgan made a sensational catch, and it's ball one.
Well, that's why in this game, you never take anything for granted, and you just keep running as hard as you can until they tell you to stop. Sometimes we run, and we should stop, but you just never, ever know what's going to happen.
How many times do you hear that message from the manager, too? Say, hey, don't embarrass me, and I won't embarrass you. And if you're running hard and you're playing the game hard, then you're not embarrassing me. But if you,
and I'm not saying anybody was.
Right. But I just mean in general, yeah. If you
I mean,
put me in a position where I look bad because I have to answer the questions, why did so-and-so make it to third base on that pop-up?
Well, I thought Ron Gardenhire did a great thing. I don't know, it was about 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know when it was. They were talking about their fans, how they were getting on the fans for trying to catch a pop-up that Mauer would have caught, and they lost. And they go, you know what, don't get on my fans. It's the same kind of thing. Don't try and embarrass me. Just do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And maybe that's not a good analogy, but
Green gets a force play at second to Hairston, and it's no runs, a hit, an error, and 2 men left. It is 1-0. Milwaukee. Reached on an error, stole a base, took third on a wild pitch, came home on a ground out. Jack Armstrong Jr. announced between innings, putting on that number 77 we talked about, third round pick from Vanderbilt, 21, 6'7", 225.
Congratulations, Jack, and welcome to
Bobby Heck, assistant general manager for scouting, put that on him. And now he's an Astro.
Jimmy and I are old enough to play against his father.
How about that? Bouncer Kotze to second. Altuve with a good throw. One pitch, one out for Bud Norris, and that'll help him tonight because his pitch count is on the high side. 68 for the game.
Yeah, but Ronnie, we're in the fourth.
Yeah, that's true. We are. How quickly we got here, too.
We do take full advantage of our early starts on Saturday.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys.
Just for you.
There's 2 hits and 3 hits. And we're an hour and a half into the game.
Yeah.
That's kind of a broadcaster's nightmare. A long game, but there's not a whole lot going on.
All right. That's why we got to make up stuff.
Make up stories. Strike to Green, who singled to right on a 3-1 count earlier. Well, we could be in Florida where the Phillies and Marlins are in a rain delay. Rain is in the forecast for Pittsburgh.
Oh, I like this kid right here.
And that comes through there pretty quickly, doesn't it?
It does. Oh, my gosh. Wow. But unfortunately, I got to let him know it's only downhill from here.
Start your career 3 for 3.
It's almost to the point you might not want to start 8 for 8, Baggy.
That lady right there had no idea that ball almost knocked her nachos out. No, that's how I want to start my career, I promise you. I started 0 for 3 with a walk and a ball at my head.
This is a unique style, doesn't he? How low he sets his hands.
Low to get high. Watch. Starts there, but it's going to come up as soon as the ball's. No, it's not that low. Oops, checking.
2-2. Dana DeMuth umpiring at third.
I'll tell you a funny story. I was at home plate and I checked, and he checked first base.
Caught by Bourgeois on center. 2 outs.
I said, Dana, you got to get help on that. He goes, why? I go, because you got to get help, man. You can't see where the ball is and where my swing is. Why?
Why?
Okay, I'm going to go back to the dugout.
75 pitches for Norris now, and it's George Kataris up. He had a fly ball to left earlier.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that may hold him back a little bit, at least stuff I've read on him, is he's had some defensive problems.
Well, if he keeps hitting, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well, you know, next year if Fielder leaves, they might move McGee over to first and put Green at third. Who knows what they're going to do?
I've seen a lot of great players that couldn't field.
That was a shot toward the right field corner. That's a line drive, and that jumped out for a home run for Kataris, number 4. 2-0 Brewers. Front row. 13 runs batted in for Kataris.
Oh, see, this is what this ballpark is it's so short to left and so short to right. I mean, there's another big handshake over there. It's just hard sometimes to deal with it. I imagine pitching wise, Jimmy. I mean, where's that a home run? In any park in the National League.
Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't either. But you can hit a ball straight away center field, and it's a home run everywhere.
True.
Council's gone back for another bat with an 0-1 count.
And I imagine it leads to some great conversations in the clubhouse where the pitchers complain about home runs like this. Well, not that, but the previous one by Kataris, and the hitters grouse about driving the ball 420 feet for an out.
Yeah, it's true.
Was there a splinter that went into his mask? Something around his eye there. He took the mask off. Council went back for another bat, so it may have splintered. Yankees beat Toronto 6-4.
Tell you what, I saw something with Corp. Something happened weird there.
Yeah. Couldn't tell what it was. Council first. Carlos backs up and gets it over to Bud Norris. The Kataris 2-out homer gives Milwaukee a 2-0 lead in the 4th. A homer from their catcher, George Kataris, after scoring an unearned run in the first on a ground out by Prince Fielder. Now the Astros come up against Chris Narveson, trailing 2-0. Each club with 3 hits on the night. And it's Michaels, Barmas, and Corporon due up for Houston in the 4th inning. J. Mike, with a line drive single to left, has one of those 3 Houston hits. He advanced as far as third base. The Astros had the bases loaded and 1 out, and then Bud Norris grounded into a double play to end the 2nd inning. Narveson delivers ball 1 to Michaels. Michaels is 1 for 6 in his career against this lefty. Narveson, a 2nd-round pick of St. Louis in 2000.
Narveson, the type of pitcher that when you go over the scouting report, you would say, well, he's going to try to get you out of the way, and he's going to pitch inside just for show to try to open up the outside corner a little bit. But he really hasn't even done that part of it tonight. He didn't really pitch inside at all. I mean, it's been mostly middle away, and he's had very good command down with both his fastball and his changeup. Been able to throw that breaking ball for strikes from time to time, but really hard in has not been part of his game plan at all.
2-1 to J. Mike. Brad Mills was asked about playing Brian Bogusevic against lefties tonight. And he said, well, he's had 6 at-bats against lefties, and I don't feel compelled to play him against southpaws because I want to look at everybody on our roster. He said, we have Jason Bourgeois, who's in center field tonight. We have Jason Michaels. We need to play them too. Bogusevic is going to play winter ball in the Dominican Republic, by the way. Looping breaking ball is high. J. Mike has worked the count full.
I don't know if there's another player in the organization who's taken a bigger step forward than Brian Bogusevic.
I have to agree with you. Fouled away. Ty Van Berkelio is here for a few days. The Astros are calling up coaches and maybe minor league managers for about a week at a time here in the remaining few weeks of the season. And Ty was around the batting cage. He's the minor league hitting instructor and the roving guy, so he sees just about everybody. And he's been impressed with Brian's progress. The fly ball hits for the center fielder, Nigel Morgan. Comes in to take care of out number 1. And, we talked to Ty Van Berkelio bringing up that point about the power of Bogusevic. His home runs have come to left center and right center. Hits him a long way.
He's a big kid. He's strong. He can do that. And you know what? He's getting better, which is exciting because, like I said, anybody can pull the ball. It's staying through the ball and hitting the ball the other way. That's the main thing. And, he hasn't hit for a long time. They made him a pitcher straight out of we got here, which was kind of crazy because I watched him take BP when he first got drafted. I'm like, why is he pitching? Tons of talent. And can run.
Yes, he can.
And obviously, as you guys have seen lately, he can throw too.
Boy, he's got that arm in right field.
He sure does.
Covers the ground well.
Well, look at it. You can see it right there.
There it is. It's 3-0. I was asking him tonight, Baggy, are you swinging any harder? You're not swinging harder, are you? He said no. But I just think there's a confidence about him now that he knows he's going to be in the lineup.
Well, Brownie, you just said the biggest word there is, and that's confidence. Confidence breeds success, and that's what Bogey's starting to get right now.
Third walk now for Narveson, and we credit Barmas with not jumping at some of those pitches off the plate. He took what he was given, and now it's Corporon coming up. It's got to be tempting, though, when a guy's right there on the fringes sometimes at the outside corner. He's not throwing it that hard to get it by you, so it's got to be tempting to think you can whack one into the right center field gap, Aggie.
Yeah, but the hard part is it's very, very difficult for right-handed hitters to sell out to hit the ball to right field. It just is. I mean, I'm not saying that's the reason why Tom Glavine won 490,000 games, but there is a reason. It's very hard to sell out and say, okay, I'm not going to hit a home run. I'm not going to do all that. I just got to stay to right field. It's very hard for a right-handed hitter to do that. and Jimmy can talk about this more than I can. It's just, you can make a nice career by living left-handed on, I guess it's left side of his plate, right side of our plate. You can make, if you can throw it out there, you can make a pretty good living.
Yeah, well, that's what, I was talking about Narveson at the beginning of the inning when you're hitting the coffee. He, normally, right, the scouting report on this guy.
You just sold me out right there. What about the times that you've been gone that Brownie and I had to carry everything?
Momentarily. But I was pointing out that the scouting report typically against a guy who's Narveson's, look away, it's going to be soft away, and he'll show inside. And Narveson hasn't even shown
it in there. He has not. You're right.
He's just living out there.
I remember telling the umpires when I faced Glavine, they call that first pitch. See where that white line is, about 4 inches outside of that? If you're going to keep calling that, throw me out of the game right now. Because I can't hit that ball.
Well, hitters don't really move around in the box these days, so you wouldn't be tempted to move up closer to the plate, right?
Well, left-handers are a little bit different than they were when I played. A lot of left-handers now throw a lot of cutters and balls in, and Narveson has not showed that. I mean, you can look right now. Everything's away. Back. Listen, I hate saying back when I played, but a lot of lefties threw the ball away, so you would move up a little bit on the plate. But now lefties have incorporated the cutter, which puts you back to where you're normally at.
Good point.
But Narveson hasn't showed any of that. Well, here he comes in now.
So he's going to try.
Strike. Yep.
Well, actually, it's not. He can't believe that call.
Well, you can't. You can't think that because, and it shows on, what is it, on Fox? What is it called? Fox track. That's a ball, but everything's been away. You just can't think that he's going to come in.
And so when you've been looking out all night long and all at bat, and when you see that one that's borderline, you feel like it's way in.
And I guarantee you thought it was down too. That's that ball right at the knees that, as a hitter, that you think is down. And he's going to go. He's going to go back inside and look at it and go, at least it was in.
But if he hit it, it might have been a double play ball.
Well, yeah.
Narveson has thrown first pitch strikes to 2 of 18 batters so far.
Is that 70 pitches? Yeah, well, 34 and 36, Brian?
Yep.
I think that adds up to 70.
That was it.
So you would look and you go, well, gee, he's throwing a lot of balls. He doesn't have very good command. But if you kind of replay most of the at-bats, he hasn't made a lot of mistakes in the middle of the play. Yeah, he's
good point.
It's kind of like
we only got 6 hits in this game.
And Pete Vukovich, when he pitched for the Brewers, I think he won 18, won the Cy Young Award, and his whole game was going 3-1, and then throwing you a changeup and popping you up.
One of the biggest piece of works I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'll be in a foxhole with him any day of the year.
Yeah. 1-2 to Norris, who grounded into the double play back in the second inning. The Astros have had 3 hits and 3 walks. And there it is, a strikeout, number 4 for Narveson, ending the 4th inning with the Brewers up 2-0.
Tickets to any September Astros home game in the field boxes for $15, or in the upper deck only $5. Visit Astros.com/Labor Day for tickets. Those are great deals.
Sure are. Fans enjoying it here at Minute Maid Park on a Saturday night. Milwaukee leads it 2-0, but Norris will be facing Narvis, Morgan, and Hairston in the 5th inning. He gave up an unearned run in the 1st on a fielder ground out, and then a home run with 2 outs in the 4th to Kataris. St. Louis winning today at home over Cincinnati 6-4. Jaime Garcia went to 11-7 with that victory over Homer Bailey, who's 7-7. Jason Mott got his 2nd save. Jay Bruce hit his 29th long ball for the Reds. Arvidsson struck out looking in the 2nd inning. The Redbirds are now 74-65.
Division is pretty much over, isn't it?
It would seem that way, yeah.
Just barring a historic collapse on the part of the Brewers.
The Mets prove that can happen. I just don't see it.
Yeah, every now and then something crazy happens. 64 Phillies.
Oh boy.
We get 43,000.
Boston beat Texas 12-7. How about that Red Sox Yankee race, Baggy? Which team do you favor there?
I favor both.
Because they're both
going to
be
go to playoff teams.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
Well, here's the conversation Brownie and I had the other night.
Okay, because I wasn't listening.
Well, yeah. Do you want to, right now, if you win that division,
I want to play Texas.
You play Detroit, and you got to deal with Verlander.
Yeah, I think I want to play Texas. So I know they can hit, but you're going to get home field advantage, aren't you?
Whoever wins the East will have home field advantage.
Right.
The wild card team, my understanding is that rule hasn't changed. The wild card team, regardless of their record, yields home field advantage to the other club.
Right. So I want to win that division, and I'd want to play. I don't even know, man. It's kind of crazy. I mean, but Texas is a good club, but I don't think their pitching is that dominant.
Right.
Now, they might have a good bullpen.
But there's no Verlander quality pitcher.
No, I mean, it goes past, and they got good offense, too. I mean, I don't know. You know what? The Red Sox are going to face the Yankees at some point. You can say all you want.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
Just going to be interesting to see who's in those postseason rotations.
Well, I mean, or you can do what they did to us in 1998. Well, they can, which they'll never do because it's the Red Sox and the Yankees, and they have to face Verlander twice in 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Size.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Foul ball, and out of the reach of 3 guys who are running for it.
Red Sox are pretty loaded, though.
They really are. That pitching and tons of offense.
I mean, what do the Yankees have? Sabathia and then pray for rain.
Yeah, Nova would probably be a guy who would be considered for number 2 at this point, but he doesn't have much postseason experience.
No, he doesn't. A little bit different when you get in that scenario.
And you've got your A.J. Burnett's of the world, but that's a little scary, starting him in a playoff game.
What's the other part of the rotation for Detroit? You got Verlander.
Porcello.
Yeah, Porcello's one of them.
What does Texas have?
C.J. Wilson.
Colby Lewis.
Alexio Gando.
Holland.
Yeah. He pitched a fine game yesterday.
You know, the Rangers probably have a deeper rotation than the Tigers. They just don't have the front man.
Right.
I think at the end of the day, we're going to see little Red Sox, Yankees, ALCS.
What would you think of the idea of a second wild card in each league?
I don't like it.
Okay.
What I do like is to take away that 5-game series and make it a 7-game series.
Right.
That's it. That's all I want.
Agreed. And then if you did that and you had a second wild card, They
much.
might play one game, and how crazy would that be?
Yeah, it's too much for me.
So walk to Morgan.
I mean, I look back, and I'm maybe selfish, but even when we went to wild card, I was still old school and said, we don't need all that and all that. And it worked out, and it's good. It's good for the fans and all that. But at the end of the day, if you play 5 games against one team, you don't find out who's the best team. And if we played 7, and then go, we're good.
Right.
I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just
7 games with as few off days as possible to really test the depth. I think that
you find out
approximates the regular season as best as you can in
right.
a postseason series.
Well, we don't need any more teams.
Well, the other night when you were having fun, we were talking about if we wanted to be commissioner for a day, what would we do?
Right.
What would you think of the idea of cutting back the regular season to
100%.
154 games?
100%.
And then best of 7 every round of 12.
Oh, you got me. You got me at a hello.
Okay. You'll be commissioner and I'll be vice commissioner.
Yeah, we got it.
Bouncer, foul for the base side.
Max Scherzer is 13-8.
Oh, yeah.
In 28 starts. Brad Penny's 9-10 with a 5.07.
That's not very good.
Scherzer's got a 4.52. Porcello's 12-8 with a 5.01.
I want to play Detroit as fast as I can play.
That's pitching in Comerica Park too.
Yeah, which is a pitcher's ballpark. Yes.
And then they picked up Pfister from Seattle, and he's pitched pretty well for them.
Okay.
So he may be. And I don't see that club much. I don't know much about him, but
I know they got one really, really good hitter there.
Yeah, Cabrera, boy, he's a beast.
He's a beast.
Morgan, who stole a base back in the first inning, draws the throw. 0-1 to count on Hairston.
I could be wrong, but I think it's just going to come down to the Red Sox Yankees again.
It would be hard to debate you on that because they're both just outstanding teams.
But as we said, we talked about a 5-game series.
Yeah.
The same thing's going to come down here. The Brewers are going to play Atlanta or San Fran.
Let's see.
I don't know.
What record shakeout.
You guys got the numbers.
Well, right now, Phillies have got the best record. And they play the wild card, but they can't play Atlanta.
No.
So they would probably play the West, which right now is Arizona.
Yeah. So Milwaukee and Atlanta, yeah.
Is it Arizona? I'm sorry.
Arizona. Well, this is kind of do or die weekend for the Giants. They're hosting Arizona. They beat them last night, but they still trail by 5.
That's a lot, yeah.
And Carlos Beltran finally emerged last night.
Oh, he had a big game, didn't he?
4 for 4, yeah.
We all know what can happen when he gets hot. Ryan Braun is 0 for 2 tonight.
You guys have seen more, obviously, than I have. I don't know why. I just think San Francisco is just a little bit better team. They just can't score. I saw on TV they have scored the least amount of runs in all of baseball. Is that true?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Wow.
We were talking about that when we were just out there.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, tonight's the big night. Ian Kennedy.
And still be kind of in the hunt.
Right. And I'm with you. I kept looking for them to come around offensively. Hasn't really happened.
Especially when they got Carlos.
Yeah.
But Carlos didn't hit until last night.
He got hurt shortly after he got there, too. And
that's true.
So the question is, can they get their offense back and go on a heck of a run here? The Diamondbacks have to cool off some.
Right.
I figure.
Tonight, JD, Ian Kennedy, 17-4, versus Tim Lincecum.
Oh, wow.
That's the big game.
Yep.
I'm going to watch that game tonight.
Yes. Runner going. Here's a throw from Corporan to Altuve, safe at second. Morgan gets his second steal of the night. Pitch was ball 2.
Well,
Morgan certainly having an impact on this game. Scoring the first run, making that play out, and Paredes out there in right center.
Yes, he is. You're right.
Now gets himself into scoring position for Ryan Braun, and a big pitch coming here on 2-0.
Ball 3 to Braun with fielder on deck.
And you see number 2 there. That was the pitch on the stolen base. It was in the strike zone, but you're almost never going to get that call as the catcher's coming out of his crouch to make the throw. And Bud was asking Kerwin Danley after the play, what was the pitch? And Kerwin said, no, 2-0.
Bud's about to hit the 100 pitch mark for the game. Bouncer on one hop. Paredes backs up, has the long throw, guns it low, and safe at first. A low one hop throw to Carlos Lee, not in time to get Braun. And Morgan moved to third. Ruled a hit.
Very difficult play. Good play, but Braun does so many things well. Runs pretty well, too. Oh,
out.
My.
He's out.
Paul Noward with a safe call.
Very close. Very close.
It was.
Yeah, it's such a tough hop. You know, if he's able to reach out and kind of catch that ball coming off the bag, kind of sell the call a little bit, sell the play.
Now fielder is 0 for 2. Rips one into right on the ground to make it 3-0 as Morgan scores on the RBI single. Fielder now has 107 runs batted in.
Interesting. We had that play on the road trip. I think it was Sandoval at third base that faked the throw to first and got the runner who was coming off a second.
Yeah.
And the same play would have been there for Paredes, but that's a difficult. I mean, your ball's hit sharply at you. It's not like you're peeking out of the corner of your eye. You don't.
Well, David Wright did that on TV the other day. I saw that. Corey Hart needs a haircut. Coming from the guy with long hair and way too much facial hair.
Well, Norris, after the visit by Brocale, over 100 pitches now, trailing 3-0, and it's Kotsay batting. Kotsay hit a fly ball to left and grounded out to second.
This has not been the most brilliantly played game.
No, not at all. That's right.
But the analysis has been sparkling.
It's been unbelievable. I think you two are the best announcers in this booth.
That's high praise coming from you, my friend.
You guys have exceeded the level of play on the field tonight with your brilliance. Line shot, left field line into the corner. That'll score Braun easily to make it 4-0. Fielder turning around. He gets a stop at third base. RBI double for Kotsay, his 25th run batted in.
Well, this is what the Brewers do. And that was the story last night.
Take advantage of stuff.
Harold did a real nice job holding them down until the 7th, but they took the lead in the 7th, added on in the 8th rather, and then finished the Astros off in the 9th. 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 3 more in the 9th, and now they kind of get a little something going here.
Well, Jimmy,
big 2-out knocks.
And you know this. I mean, good teams always take advantage of little things. Teams that you've played on in the 40s and when I played on, you always
in the 70s.
You always people take advantage of mistakes and errors and I don't know, just little stuff. It's amazing how it works, but good teams always find a way to win on little things.
We could never beat the Gas House game.
No, and I know you and Red Shondice used to go at each other. You would throw the high fastball.
Paredes back for this foul pop, turning and makes the catch. And in the 5th inning, the Brewers add 2 on 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs, and they lead it now 4-0.
Thursday, September 22nd. That'll be an exclusive Reckless Kelly CD release party. Presented by Budweiser. Purchase your ticket package at astros.com/reckless for game ticket, access to the pregame acoustic concert, and a copy of Reckless Kelly's new CD.
Jason Bourgeois takes strike one, leading off the home fifth inning. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the first and stole a base. 4-0 Brewers. They've out-hit the Astros 6-3. That's off the plate for a ball. And it's 1-1 to Jason Bourgeois. In the Red Sox 12-7 win over the Rangers, Eric Bedard got win number 5 of the year, beating Colby Lewis. Prince Fielder goes over into foul ground, running out of room, and it's back into the seats. 1-2. So the Red Sox and Yankees both winning today. The Yankees keep their half-game lead on Boston. Altuve on deck. Martinez due up third with the Astros down by 4. As JD mentioned, last outing for Narveson was in relief on Wednesday, just 1 inning. He's not started a game since August 22nd when he went 5 1/3 against Pittsburgh. Shooting for win number 10 tonight. Last year he won 12 and lost 9 with a 4.99 ERA. Popped up. Green underneath it, over in foul territory. 1 out. And it's Altuve batting now. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. Carl Crawford hit his 11th home run. Gerald Saltalamacchia, number 14 for the Sox. All the Houston hits have been singles. The Astros have stranded 6.
The amazing Dan Uggla continues to hit with power. 32nd home run tonight for Uggla.
Wow.
And I'm not dogging him. Well, kind of I am. I didn't mean to. He's the only guy hitting 230 with a 400 game hitting streak.
Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's amazing.
Highly improbable hitting streak. He was hitting in the 170s when it started.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, good for him.
1-2.
See, Jose, right now he's not selling out to right field right here. He's pulling off the ball. You just cannot think with Narveson that you're going to pull the ball. You just got to stay to right center. And easy to say from me in the booth. I mean, it's real easy up here.
Oh, isn't it though?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I've listened to you guys for years.
And now you're trying to tell us.
Now I'm trying to tell you
what's really going
what's
on.
really going on.
Green at third. Takes care of the second out.
I know it's just hard. Right-handed hitters it's just very, very difficult to sell out that way.
So do you ascribe to the theory that the further you get away from home plate,
It's not even that, Brownie. It's you just got to sit there and you got to try. You have to try to take away the left side of the field away against a guy like this. Now there's a lot of other lefties that will cut the ball in on you, and that's a different story. But with Narveson, he's shown you nothing but away basically.
what I was going to say is the further you get from home plate, the easier the game looks.
Yeah, from up. Oh, sorry,
from up here.
Yeah, from up here, man.
Yeah.
This is easy. I mean, I'd already have 4 to 5 hits right now if I was playing.
But the speed of the game when you're down there at home plate, it's
totally different.
You cannot sense that from here.
No, you can't. And you can't sense it from TV. I mean, I've heard so many people, oh, how could you not hit that? I mean, no, I could have hit that guy. No, you couldn't have. It's different. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why one of the fun things for fans to do is if you go to spring training and go over to the minor league, the side fields where the minor league games are going on, you can get right behind the backstop and you get a sense of what the stuff looks like, what the hitters have to deal with.
Yeah. And I've always said, guys, that I think the best promotion, and it will never happen for Major League Baseball, is that if there could be a way to take care of the liability issue, put a fan down there and face a Major League pitcher, it'd be a great promotion. You understand how difficult it is. 2-out walk. That's the 4th walk for Narveson. Because it's just hard to gain that kind of appreciation until you're in the box.
It's true.
And it's very difficult
Speed of the game,
to approximate it.
Carlos 0 for 2 tonight, 13-game hitting streak. Well, you'll start to swing, and that ball will cut in on your hands.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just...
Now, Carlos is a veteran hitter. He can do that. He's very good at taking the ball the other way. And he told me tonight I had to say something good about him, so I'm going to say that he can hit the ball the other way. So we're going to see if he can actually make me smart, which probably is not going to work.
Well, he pulled this one into the seats in left field. 2-run homer for El Caballo on his bobblehead night, giving him a 14-game hitting streak.
See how I told you he can go the other way?
Yeah.
Pulled it into the seats. Now I'm going to try and make myself look good and say, well, because he was thinking the other way, he was able to stay inside that ball. And people at home to know I have no idea.
Just react to
Thank you for trying to help me out, right?
I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
Coors Light Cold Hard Blast shows you Carlos' 3rd homer off Narveson this year.
This year?
Yes.
Wow. Start paying attention.
You see the immediate reaction from Narveson. He knew he made a mistake as soon as Carlos
Stayed inside the ball, thinking the other way, and just reacted to him.
Well, and because if you think back to his first at bat when he flew out to left field with the man on second, he tried to pull the ball and hit a lazy fly ball to left.
Jimmy Paredes pops it up. Counsell coming in. In the 5th inning, the Astros mount a 2-out rally of their own with a walk from Martinez, a 2-run blast from Lee. Sending that one out to left field for his 14th homer, giving him 77 runs batted in, 4-2 Milwaukee. One sensational catch in right center. Jimmy Paredes ripped one. Looked like a double, maybe a triple. Niger Morgan flying through the air, and then he took a long leap, and his right foot went into that bullpen fence as he held on.
That was a good catch right there, Browning.
Tremendous play.
T-plush or T whatever.
Yeah.
Jimmy just came back since he dogged me out last time.
Now after 5, it's 4-2. Bud Norris going to work in the 6th inning.
You were just dogging me?
Yeah, I was.
Hey, I was out doing research for the bit of the program.
Very good.
Talking to Rock next door about their postseason pitching plans.
What did he come up with?
Billy Schroeder. I was just asking him if they would use Narveson in the bullpen in the postseason. He thought they probably would.
Line drive very, very deep to center field. Jason Bourgeois back. That's bouncing and staying in play off the wall. Kataris heads for third, and he'll make it there without a throw with a triple, his first of the year.
Stop with the handshakes, guys. Come on, man. We play once every 9 days.
Yeah,
sorry, I get irritated by some of this stuff.
They've worked that routine pretty hard this year.
And his triple went about 50 feet further than his home run, but 2 very good swings of the bat for guitarists here.
Kids back home, this is not what you do.
Yeah. Well, you know they are.
Go ahead.
Infield in now for Council. Council hits a high one to right field. Very deep right. Michael's watching it go for a 2-run homer for Council. 6-2 Milwaukee as Council hits number 1 of the season.
Wow. It's been a lean year for the veteran Craig Council, but he'll have fond memories of Minute Maid. It was here that he broke that long hitless drought, and now his first home run of the year.
Bet he doesn't do a handshake.
No.
Now it's going to be Josh Wilson pinch hitting for the pitcher Narveson. Another long ball for Milwaukee. 2 more tonight, giving the Brewers 154 this year. They hit a couple last night. They have hit 20 home runs against the Astros this year in 14 games. And the pinch hitter is Wilson after Narveson leaves, putting in 5 innings of work tonight, allowing 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 4, fanned 3. Cameron Lowe's been warming up. Wilson's 30 years old. He played with Seattle last year. Backs away from strike 1.
Pinch hit, just walk away from home plate and get full strike. Say hello to my little friend.
He better be ready now because Bud's ready to go. He's asking for time, but he's not getting it.
Swings at the slider, and quickly it snowballs 2 strikes on Wilson.
Time?
Asking for time. Nope, not going to happen.
I guarantee that ball wasn't on the plate either.
And Ariel Del Rosario is warming up for Houston. He was also working earlier in the game. 1-2 to Wilson. He's made 15 starts. He's an infielder who can play all the positions, and in fact he's also played a little left field this year. Claimed on waivers from Arizona back in May. Fouls that away, and it's still a 1-2 count. Josh, a 3rd-round pick of Florida in '99.
99?
Yeah. Around for a while, huh? Yeah. Waiver claim for Colorado in '06. Spent a lot of time in the minors. Bounces that one foul. Still 1-2. And Ariel Del Rosario's been on the disabled list. And just cleared to return with the roster expansion September 1. And in a few more days, it'll appear that Sergio Escalona will be back to the roster as well. He's going to need 1 rehab assignment for Oklahoma City first.
Oh my God. The neck block.
Yeah. 2-2. That's a shot out of the dirt.
Yeah.
Anderson Hernandez got a hit last night. He now has a 30-game hitting streak for Oklahoma City.
Does he really?
Yeah.
What's he hitting down there, Brian?
Here's a check.
Oh, never mind.
We've got it here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Their season winds up on the 5th.
30-game hitting streak. Could be Dan Uggla hit 230.
Yeah. That's the 8th longest in PCL history. Joe DiMaggio once had a 61-game streak in the Pacific Coast League. Fly ball to the left.
Pacific Coast League back then?
He did.
Yes, they did.
So how about that?
California, I know that.
61-game streak at AAA, and then 56 in the majors.
305 for Anderson Hernandez. Oklahoma City.
Yeah. By the way, that streak will never, ever be broken.
I have to agree with you.
There's no way.
So much pressure when Pete Rose had his 44-game streak. Oh, the media.
Well, and in today's game, too, there's so much specialty guys. And I'm not taking away from what Joe D did, but they pretty much threw pitchers out there and said, here you go, bro.
Right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
T. Plush has his fans here. Well, he's made some things happen tonight. He deserves to have fans with his play in this game.
Yeah,
that's the way he ends his interviews, yeah.
These guys now.
Well, think of it this way. They lead by 4. He has scored 2. He took away an extra base hit. The Astros wound up loading the bases after he made that catch on Paredes in the second inning. So
That's true.
it's a big factor.
He's a nice player.
That's what he does in his interview.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
He's had enough.
He's had enough. I'm out.
He just walks off. Walks away from the TV camera. T+. Rips that one foul. A good player who's had problems with a lot of rules in other environments. He ran into some situations with Jim Riggleman in Washington, and they clashed a few times, but Milwaukee just decided, and Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder said to him, be yourself when he arrived.
Well, I know Clarkie likes him a lot, and I got a lot of respect for Clarkie, so I like him.
That's a hit in front of J.D. Martinez.
Try to underhand.
3 hits in the inning for Milwaukee. They got 3 hits in the last inning, and this is what they did last night. They just kept pouring it on in the middle and late innings. Now Brad Mills is on his way.
We've seen two players now underhand the ball. Altuve and J.D.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a game. Can we get a stat for that?
We don't have a stat for that. We
Not
should.
yet, anyway. Yeah, soon we will.
We'll have one in a minute with the score. Milwaukee 6, Houston 2.
In the box. Try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by Gullo Automotive, treating you like family. New pitcher for the Astros, Bill Brown will tell us about it.
He's been on the disabled list, Greg, and Ariel Del Rosario at 6-2 Milwaukee. He comes in after Bud Norris threw 121 pitches in 5 1/3 innings. Del Rosario 0-2 with a 4.5 ERA. Was activated yesterday from the 15-day disabled list. He was out with a right shoulder strain, missed 24 games. Then he went on a 4-game rehab assignment at the Gulf Coast League and AAA Oklahoma City.
As you look at his numbers, you see he's not a big strikeout guy, just 26 strikeouts in 46 innings, so he really needs to get the walk number down. He's got a good sink on his fastball. It's his best pitch. Also has a slider, but if you keep that sinker down around the knees, he can do a lot of good things. He'd be the kind of guy that could really come in and clean up an inning for you. Get a big double play.
Yeah, this is a good situation for him. Double play situation. Strike call there, 0-2.
Jimmy, you can talk to I never understood the sinker to the outside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter.
I think that's a very difficult pitch to make.
But even so, isn't it coming back to my barrel?
Yeah, it's moving back. The two-seamer that's going to come back.
Yeah. I want that pitch. Now the inside part, I can't do anything with it.
Right. Good point.
All I can do is hit it
just
to
keeps
third
working
base.
it
Yeah,
out.
I can't do anything with it. But you pretty much take away the entire side of the field.
Well, and that, typically guys that throw two-seam fastballs and four-seams, guys that throw both are going to throw four-seamers away, and they're going to try to get run on the two-seamer in.
just never got that. I used to have an argument with Osmus all the time about that.
What was his point?
He went to Dartmouth.
Oh, okay.
So he thought he was smarter than me.
Okay. So it was a matter of physics then?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you could get enough movement on it where you could get a guy to give up on it.
Well, I mean, you know, Maddox did it for years, but, I mean, that's a different type of sinker than normal sinkers.
To me, the guys with the best sinkers were the ones that didn't really worry too much about which side of the plate they were throwing it on. They were just having to dive right at the right time, right as it got to home plate.
Right, just threw it.
Earlier you mentioned Kevin Brown.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't he get you so inside conscious with that sinker?
You know, Brownie, I would finally get into a hitter's count 2-0, and all he'd do is drop down his arm angle and throw a two-seamer in, and I would hit it either off my shin or right to the third baseman. I couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And that's my point of what I just said.
Right. Morgan takes off. There's a little looping line drive. Short hop play. Paredes gets it over to first. And that's out number 2.
T-Plus should have kept going.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Standing on second. Third base uncovered. Well, Barmas was trying to get there, but if he had just kept on running hard around second,
he would have been safe. I can't call him T-Plush anymore if he gave himself his nickname.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Lance giving himself the nickname of Puma. I'm not going to call him that ever because he gave himself his own nickname. Somebody else has got to give you a nickname.
Okay.
It's kind of like Swisher in New York that said he was a great teammate.
Okay.
Yeah. Let somebody else tell you that you're a great teammate.
Self-proclaimed great teammate.
Don't tell me that you're a great teammate. Irritates the stew, as Lance would say, out of me.
Braun fouls it back. And it's 1-1.
Where was T-Plush right there? He was like at the mound.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No. Didn't see it.
What was going on right there? He was cutting off the angle.
Okay. It was 2 outs.
He was not even going to touch third.
Well, you talk
Let's
to these.
see what happened right here.
Okay.
One of those guys you don't want to take your eyes off him. What's he going to do next?
Yeah.
Watch this. There he goes.
Okay.
Straight to the mound. Oh, my goodness.
Never a dull moment.
No. Yeah, it's actually kind of entertaining.
Now, where he's taking his lead there,
Yep.
if you're the runner at second with 2 outs, are you supposed to be a little bit further on the outfield side?
Yes, unless you're going to steal the base, you need to be towards the shortstop and kind of get your movement going towards third base. You're going to try and create an angle to third and home so you can cut off the distance. If you're in the base path, it's very, very difficult to cut that corner and get there as quick as you can. So you want to be a little bit deeper, which he's starting to move back. You can see he's moving back, and then create more of an angle to third base.
Otherwise, you wind up bowling out so much.
Yeah, you're behind the third base coach, which is not good. You don't want that. You're trying to create an angle. You want to use third base as you want to bounce off of third base to create an angle and kind of forward yourself towards home plate. And he's good right where he is because he's not going to steal this base. He's not trying to steal.
Strike 3 call. Del Rosario gets 2 outs to end the 6th inning as the Brewers add to their lead. With 2 runs, 3 hits, and a man left, it's 6-2.
That isn't bothering Ann, our friend in Rochester, New York, she of the Brock umbrella. She sent me an email. She says, I will not miss a Saturday home Astro game with Baggy, JD, and Brownie. It is the best. I have the game on 3 different devices. My flat-screen TV, Brewers broadcast silent, my laptop with MLB.TV Astro broadcast, and as a backup on my iPad. Saturday nights are the only night I will not miss a minute of the game. Of course, they're not quite lined up, but close. I think she's talking about the TVs and not you 3.
Could be the latter.
That's Ann in Rochester. Good to hear from her.
Thanks, Ann. Baggy wasn't listening, but that's
No,
all
I
right.
wasn't, no. Generally, I'm not listening.
Cameron Lowe's in the game, working to Jason Michaels, who's 1 for 2. And there's ball 1 from Lowe. Narveson in 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, 2 runs. He's in line for his 10th win. Cameron Lowe 3-7 with a 3.55 ERA.
What'd I miss?
Basically, Ann's saying that you should go and ask for a raise.
Yeah.
She's never going to miss a Saturday night game. Ann in Rochester.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And as they say there, it's not Rochester, it's Rochester.
Rochester. Yeah.
If I didn't get back on that plane because of that little tropical depression, then I would have missed Saturday's game.
Can't have that.
And I wouldn't be listening again.
See, how many more Saturdays do we have?
I think only a couple.
Yeah.
Who's counting?
Foul back, 1-2. Gene Duffy's from Rochester. He's right next
No,
door.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love listening to you when I don't listen. You guys are so smart when I don't listen.
Just turn it on and you know what we're saying. You don't have to listen.
Actually, I don't even put mute.
That's a very, very good
Especially
spot.
after the 5th inning.
That's when all the good stuff happens.
Yeah, the stuff that I don't understand. Like, what is Jimmy talking about? Brownie, you were perfect.
Well, we stray from the facts quite a bit, as you know, Baggy.
We only have 1 home Saturday left.
One?
Yeah, the Rockies.
So I can go on vacation
24th.
again?
Yeah, you're good till the 24th of September.
I'll see you guys.
We don't want to wear you out.
We'll see you on the 24th, Baggy.
See you, brother.
Try to stick around for 3 more innings, though.
Another 4 hours?
Yeah.
That's a power sinker there.
Yeah, it is
bad
a power
it is.
sinker, man. That's his bread and butter right there.
Ooh, he's 6'7".
See, and he's not trying to hit a spot with that.
No, he's just
throwing
throwing
over
it.
the plate and down. Look at that. Bam.
I was working with J. Mike earlier, too, in the cage.
Were you?
Yeah, I taught
Is
him that.
evidenced by that right there.
I taught him how to strike out 120 times a year.
Clint Barmas has walked twice. There's strike
That's a
1.
good sinker there.
When a guy is 6'7" and throws a sinker, is that even more effective than a guy
No.
who's 6'2" throwing it?
No, not really, Brownie. It's just how much movement's on it. I don't care how big you are. It's just you throw that pitch right there,
Nice.
and then back it up with that one.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it pretty tough.
No, and this kind of speaks to the conversation earlier. We were talking about DiMaggio and how the game has changed. A lot of times a hitter, he might have 4 at-bats in the game off 4 different pitchers. The guy got knocked out early.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you're any good, which I think DiMaggio is decent, you're going to face the best out of every 4.
True. 2 outs. Bud Norris went 5 1/3, allowing 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. 2 outs, and it's Carlos Corporan who has walked and struck out looking. Cameron Lowe in his last 14 outings has a 0.55 ERA.
It's decent.
20th round draft choice of the Rangers in 2002. Then he went to Japan for a while.
Yeah, I remember him when he was with the Rangers.
Did you ever see his pet snake?
No, and actually, to be honest with you, I don't want to.
Can't blame you.
Not a big fan of the snake people, moss, caterpillars, spiders.
Especially boa constrictors.
Yeah.
You don't want one of those loose in the clubhouse.
No, to each his own.
1 ball, 1 strike. Brett Wallace is on deck with a pitcher's spot due up. Right-hander warming up for the Astros. There he is, and Eloy Rodriguez. He pitched last night. Brad Mills was saying, Baggy, that Fernando Rodriguez, who did not pitch last night, is of a little concern to him right now, and he was not available last night. Probably is available tonight, but they'd like to give him a little more rest. He's made the transition this year from starting to relieving.
Right.
So no injury reported, but they're just watching him carefully.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, with our club this year and how we're, in our standings and what we're doing, we got to kind of watch out for whatever they think is going to be their future.
Good point.
So with everybody, it's kind of like Jordan Lyles and all these guys. You got to kind of just figure out what we want to do, because we're at this particular point in the season. Yes, we want to put a good product out there and do the best we can, but we got to watch out for our future.
And of course, there are extra arms out there now in September. Lucas Harrell on the left started last night, threw the ball well. He is not due for another start as of now, so he'll be in the pen when he gets some rest. And asked Brad Mills how you're going to use him. He said, in any kind of a role, he can be good. We talked about Longman. He said, well, Longman in September really isn't an issue because you've got extra pitchers, so you don't need somebody to go 3 or 4 innings. Infield shifted around on Corporon. He smacks one to center field. Nigel Morgan backing on it. T Plush on the warning track for out number 3 after 6. 6-2 Milwaukee.
Season. Subscribe to MLB.tv tonight to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details, because MLB.tv has baseball everywhere.
Thank you, Greg. The Astros have made some changes. J.B. Shuck enters the game in right field. He'll be in the number 9 spot in the order in this double switch with Anewe Rodriguez, who was the loser last night in the 8-2 ball game coming in. He's now 1-6 with a 5.08 ERA. Del Rosario worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up no hits, no runs, and had a strikeout.
Manuri last night, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs allowed, walked a man.
Took his turn in the rotation several times earlier this season. And now as he goes through his first major league year as a Rule 5 draft choice, has done well as a reliever since he came out of that rotation. 3.64 ERA in 20 relief appearances. It was blown up last night by the fact that he gave up those 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Prince Fielder has 2 runs batted in tonight. He's 1 for 3.
And he's going to list the Astros on his free agent numbers. Let's say 500.
Yes, it is 500. Yep.
Wow.
With 18 runs batted in against Houston. Strike 1 to him. So he has feasted on Houston pitching this year. Oh, you mentioned free agency for Prince.
Well, there you go. There are his numbers in this ballpark.
They're eye-popping. Okay, the Red Sox are well fixed at first base. The Yankees are well fixed at first base. Albert Pujols will also be out there.
Forget that. We're going to talk about the Cubs.
Cubs, okay.
We're going to talk about Milwaukee.
Well,
what else we got out there?
Trying to think.
You know, there's some people who think the Blue Jays have been very aggressive this year, adding pieces, and
that's big money, don't you?
It is big money, but you get the sense that there's a commitment up there.
Well, there was something written about the fact that they could expand their payroll when we were there. Pop back 2-2. The point about Milwaukee, though, bears looking into, Baggy, because let's say they win the World Series. Well, now that could change things quite a bit with trying to get Prince Fielder back in their uniform.
Well, Brownie, you got Jimmy and Brownie. You guys got the numbers. What is their attendance this year?
They've drawn about 2.5 million so far.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, needless to say, they're probably going to get somewhere towards 3 million people.
Yep.
Well, it's a pretty good number.
Yes, it is. For that smaller market, that is outstanding.
Well, and it all comes down to Prince and Boris and all that kind of stuff, what they want to do. But
sure.
I would think he'd be pretty comfortable in that ballpark. Pretty good hitter's ballpark. Actually, really good hitter's ballpark.
Well, okay, you went through this. You're a free agent. You're a well-established player.
Right.
You can make $85 million. You can make $120 million. What's the difference there?
I don't know. I'm guessing 35 million.
Good math. Excellent work. Popped up, and the left fielder J.D. Martinez comes over for it.
You did it in your head. I had to write it down. I was my ciphering over here.
Outstanding, Baggy.
No, but, and I hear what you're saying, Brownie. I mean, if I'm 28 years old, is that what he is? Is he 28, I think?
We're going to check.
He was 27 in May.
Right. I'm pretty much going for the, in this day and age, the $185 to $200 million deal.
Yeah. Okay, so you want the best money.
No. But my point is, if the Brewers want to make a commitment, I don't know what the number's going to be.
Kotsay out to right center field. That's hit well enough to land in there and give him extra bases. A double for Kotsay, his second of the night.
To me, the difference is going to be between, I mean, this sounds absolutely ridiculous to talk about these kind of numbers, but it's all baseball relative.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking, between, is $20 million a year or $25 million a year what you want?
Right.
And that comes down to, but it comes down to you and your agent. And, you saw what Jared Weaver signed for $85 million, and he probably could have got way more than that, but he signed it because he wanted to stay where he was. So that's the difference there. So
yeah,
still a ton of money.
Pinch runner Gomez at second for Kotsay, and there's strike one to Green, who's 1 for 3. Well, if you win the World Series for Milwaukee, and you can stay there and make $30 million less, but be with this team that just won the World Series.
That becomes down between you and your agent, and that becomes the player.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about players and whether they're greedy and they want every last dime. But I think, too, there's an element in not knowing everybody's background and where they come from. It's not like they need that money. But if you grew up with an understanding of the value of money, sometimes I think it's hard to leave $10 million on the table because that's $10 freaking million.
That's a lot of money.
And the idea that you're leaving that on the table is like.
And what you have to think about, too, JD, is as a player, and a lot of people don't understand this, our earning power is only so long. I'm not a doctor, so I can't make that money for the rest of your life. You only have a certain amount of time to make it. Now, obviously, if you get...
That's well to right center field again. And that's bouncing and staying in play for Schuck. A run will score to make it 7-2 on a double by Green. Well, you were right. He swings the bat well, and he has 2 hits tonight.
I like this kid. I like the way he goes after it. Easy for me to say now, but I do like the way he goes after it.
Two for 4 tonight, 4 for 6 in the big leagues. First RBI there, first double for Green.
How old is that kid?
22.
That's it.
Strike 1 to Kataris. 24.
Is he 24?
Yeah, 24. Kataris has a homer and a triple tonight. 11 hits now for the Brewers. 4 for the Astros. Old foul, 0-2.
But then again, as we're talking, it just comes down to what you're comfortable with.
Right.
For me, I'd rather take less money to be comfortable. Certainly You're not going to go to the Yankees. You're not going to go to the Red Sox, so you can forget about that right off the get-go.
And you did that to stay here.
Yeah, but the Astros were great to me. They were awesome. I'm very happy and very comfortable. I'm going to be fine.
But your point being, and it's a good one, hey, this might be your last contract. You may get injured. Who knows what's going to happen here?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, and the old cliche of the grass
greener on the other side.
And then, boy, if you're in a comfortable spot and you like playing in a city, you like your teammates.
I'm saying, what do you make? 20 million or 25 million? Come on. It's a ton of money.
Yes, it is. 2-2. And then there is this. What if they say to you, well, if you sign for X number of dollars instead of $5 million more a year, that will give us a chance to provide a better team around you.
Well, there's a lot to be said for that, Ronnie. A lot.
Into right field for a hit. Green around third, coming to the plate. Shuck with a throw, and it's cut off. 8-2 lead for the Brewers. 3 straight hits here in the 7th inning for them.
Carr's probably having his best night of the year. Double shy of the cycle, home run triple, and now an RBI single. It's the killer Canadians back-to-back in the order, Green and Kataris.
Yeah. Twelve hits now for the Brewers. Counsell ripped a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Fouls it back, strike 1.
Oh, that would have been up to us right there.
Yeah, just about.
Give us something else to talk about.
24,982 to paid attendance on a Saturday night. No balls, 2 strikes. Now Braun, of course, has signed a multi-year deal to extend and stay with the Brewers. So in their small market type environment, is a case of probably not being able to sign everybody they wanted to sign.
Well, it's kind of the same thing in St. Louis. I mean, you sign Holiday for that kind of money, and now you got to pay Albert, and then you got Carpenter coming up. Wainwright's going to come up at some point.
Sure.
It's just, you just got to be smart.
Notice we read they were talking about giving Wainwright an extension.
You're trying to get him cheap now. You had surgery.
Good point. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Do you know it was your boy Dave Clark's birthday today?
Ooh, didn't know that.
I did not know that. How old is he? 72?
Yeah, give or take a couple of years.
And bald. Love that boy.
Yeah.
Good baseball guy. And a good person.
It really is.
I did not know it was his boy.
Yeah,
birthday.
you go shopping.
How was it going to be? No, I'm not giving him anything.
He's 49 today.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that magical number. Just a year away.
I did not know he was that old. Or I did not know it was his birthday.
Born in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yes, he was. I do know that. Tupelo honey, baby.
Runner going, and that ball's in the air. Bourgeois back to right center field. For the out, 2 down. You know, you had a chance to coach with this club, Baggy, and
Yep.
the hours that these guys put in
Wow,
are
it's
just
amazing.
pretty staggering,
It's
aren't
amazing.
they? On Abreu warming up.
It's absolutely amazing. You know, I never knew when I was a player.
Because they didn't do it like that when we were players.
Yeah, you're right.
Certainly not when I was a player. And you
Not in the
stuck around
40s.
a few more years. Yeah, in the 40s. We just
When I was
showed up.
there in the 60s, it was we just showed up too. Derek Bell brought me soul food, and that was good.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what these guys do nowadays. There's too much video now.
Mossy was not breaking down video.
No,
Promise you.
no. Either was Jaramillo. Just hit that. I can't even say it on air, but just hit that thing. Don't worry about what he's got. Just take a look at him. He'll show you what he's got.
Two and 0 to Cameron Lowe.
Is there anything worse in the entire world to walk the pitcher when he's a reliever?
Yeah, probably not.
Well, maybe the three-run homer.
If he takes you deep.
Yeah.
That might sting a little bit more.
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike. Mets lead the Nationals 7-6 there in the 7th inning. Jason Bay hit his 10th. Foul back. 2-2.
You know you're not a good hitter when you start running after you
Foul
foul
back to the
ball
screen.
off. Yeah.
I'm not sure where it is. I better go.
Contact can be a big thing sometimes.
Yeah. Forward.
Kansas City 5, Cleveland 1 there in the 7th. Cameron Lowe strikes out to end the 7th for Milwaukee with 2 more runs scoring, and they lead it now 8-2. Oh, really? It's close. Gomez in center. Fans enjoying the 7th inning stretch. Milwaukee leads at 8-2, 12 hits to 4. And we have changes in the outfield alignment for Ron Renicke's first place Brewers. Nigel Morgan moves over from center field to right. Had a big catch earlier in this game. Carlos Gomez takes over for him in center field. He had been out with a broken collarbone, just got back, and those two guys will probably be platooning in center field the rest of the way. Meanwhile, the youngster gets a little shaky, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning with J.B. Shuck to lead it off for the Astros. He entered in the double switch with the pitcher in Jason Michaels' number 6 spot in the order tonight. Bourgeois on deck as Shuck comes up. .250 batting average, 2 runs batted in for JB. Came up last night, worked his way on as a pinch hitter. There's strike one. He's been effective in doing that. It's a good spot for him leading off an inning.
A very patient hitter. Goes the other way.
See what he does with this sinker from low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, he walked last night. Usually he'll take a pitch or two.
Yeah. It's like an 88-mile-an-hour changeup right there.
Yeah, it moves like a splitter, doesn't it?
Does.
A little chop. Low comes over.
Another underhand throw.
He just about didn't get him. Now, that was almost too casual, but he got out number 1.
I can honestly say I've never seen 3 underhand throws in a game before in my life.
What is this, softball?
Whoa.
Hard to get much on it. I mean, that's a long way to make that underhand toss.
You bet it is.
Oh.
Did he perhaps beat it?
I have a fox mow that. Do we have a fox mow anywhere?
We have it. Jason Bourgeois takes strike 1. He's 1 for 3.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
You guys are good in the truck.
How about that?
Oh, wow. Looked like safe on that replay. Chop to third. 1 big hop for Green. 2 outs. And this is the specialty of a guy like Lowe.
Yeah. Ground ball after ground ball after ground ball. Another guy that you have to think about right center. You can't really try and think about pulling the ball. You got to stay through the ball, up the middle. If you happen to pull it, you pull it.
Altuve has struck out, and he's grounded out twice.
Yeah, he's kind of been pulling off the ball a little bit with Narveson today, so he needs to really think about right center right here.
Got jammed on that, rolls it out to shortstop, and there's the play by Counsell. It's a 6-pitch, 7th inning for Lowe, and it's 8-2 Milwaukee. How many pitches did Nolan Ryan throw in all of his no-hitters? Yeah.
In total?
Yep.
Just adding all 7 up.
Abreu,
7 games up.
Juan Abreu. Yeah, total added up.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know the answer. He didn't tell me.
That kind of makes it tough.
It's 8-2 Milwaukee. A dozen hits for the Brewers as they come up in the 8th inning. They'll be facing pitcher number 4 for the Astros, right-hander Juan Abreu, who came in the Michael Bourne deal from the Atlanta Braves. Made his major league debut Monday night against the Pirates. And those are his numbers for 25 pitches in that game. He had a couple of men on base, and they scored after he left.
He's pitching for AAA Gwinnett in the Braves organization and then traded it over in the Michael Bourne deal overall this year. In the minor leagues, 5-2 with a 2.18 ERA. Very good strikeout numbers. He had 77 strikeouts at 57 2/3 innings. Originally signed by the Royals. He's 26. He's from the Dominican Republic. And he throws hard.
Yeah, he does. He rushes it up there very well.
Is there any Abreu that we know anywhere?
No.
No?
Not related to
relation?
Bobby or
No.
any of those other guys we know. Nigel Morgan scored twice tonight. He has a hit, a walk. He reached on an error. He has stolen 2 bases, made a fabulous catch in right center field. He's impersonated T. Flush. He's done a lot of things. Strike 1 to him.
Now to fold.
Marco Estrada's warming up for the Brewers.
Ow.
Drilled him. That's the way the 8th inning starts. Morgan hit by the pitch.
Come on, T. Plush, get down there. It's all right. It happens. Now you're 1 for 3 instead of 1 for 4.
He was hit last night in the 9th inning as well. It's been a painful weekend for him so far. He looks gassed. Hairston's a batter. He's 1 for 4. Phillies in Florida are tied 3-3 in the 3rd. They had a long rain delay. Cole Hamels is pitching for the Phils.
Yikes.
That's another hit batsman.
He's not trying to hit anybody. Come on, guys. He's not trying to hit anybody.
Now there's a warning for both benches from Kerwin Danley. And Doug Brocail's coming out.
Get thrown out, Broke. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say this on air, but I mean, that's ridiculous. Nobody's trying to hit anybody.
No, this kid's second major league appearance.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to hit anybody.
So now both teams have been warned, and it's up to Kerwin Danley to determine. Somebody else gets hit. He can throw out the manager and the pitcher. Ron Renicky comes out.
Broke just told him to hit the next guy, too. No one broke. Poor kid. I mean, he's not trying to hit anybody.
No, and I imagine this is something the Brewers have to deal with a lot because
way
of
they
all
act.
with the way Niger and all this
agree.
stuff and everything else. So they're, when guys do get hit, they're wondering, is this retaliation?
Yeah,
Are they
but
mad at us for?
I'm not hitting these 2 guys in an 8-2 game.
No, and it's again, it's the.
Just
this
a
kid isn't going
Yeah.
to do it. He's not aware of the situation, and nobody's going to ask a kid to come into this game and start taking shots at people. He's just a young guy with a good arm who doesn't have great command, and a couple of pitches got away from him. And Braun's going to take this pitch, I'm guessing. He looks like he's a little far away from the plate. Yeah.
Apparently, Jimmy and I don't know what we're talking about because he's smiling too. He's going, what am I doing?
Braun has a single and 4 trips.
I'm hitting 339 and I'm taking a first pitch hack at a ball 8 feet off the outside part of the plate. Well, it's not 8, but it's a couple inches at least.
Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Rodriguez in 1 inning allowed 3 hits, 2 runs with no walks, 1 strikeout.
You guys got to protect me if a foul ball comes here because I'm tired of looking at Jimmy's screen. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, he caught one earlier this year.
Did he?
Yeah. He's a good protector.
It's the only one we've gotten up here ever. We never get him up here.
Braun's down on strikes.
It's probably the worst at bat you'll ever see that kid take.
Yep, that was pretty bad.
That's after 2 hit batters and a Brocail trip to the mound. He just wasn't sure what to expect up there.
Way to go, Broke.
Yeah.
Way to lock him in.
He didn't seem to have his heart or his rear end in that at bat. 1 out now, and it's Fielder batting.
Well, if he hit this big boy right here, we might have a problem.
Yeah. 2 runs batted in tonight.
He wasn't swinging with that.
Arizona got a run in the 3rd at San Francisco against Tim Lincecum. Still batting with a 1-0 lead. Aaron Hill doubled in the run for Arizona. It's 1-1.
Glad he didn't swing at that one.
Detroit got 3 in the 9th and beat Ozzie Guillen's White Sox 9-8.
Big win for Detroit. White Sox 5 back in the loss column entering play today.
You can see why he's a little erratic, a little bit, just because he kind of flies open there, huh, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Good. Tone that up. He'll be fine. He got that kind of arm.
Yeah, and I think that's the I shouldn't say the whole goal, but that was one of the things that the Astros were shooting for with these trade deadline deals, just to try to bring some high ceiling position players and some big arms into the organization, guys that may not be completely polished yet, but if they put it all together, they have a skill set that could take them pretty high places in this game.
Carlos Lee leaving his feet, tossing to Abreu, gets the out at first. Morgan to third, Hairston to second, 2 outs.
You know you're having a good year when you ground out like that, then you punch the first baseman in the chest. Watch this.
Get out of the way, man.
Yeah. Having some fun. Carlos Gomez has been out with that injury we talked about. Comes up for the first time tonight. Very good defensive player.
Yeah, center fielder, right?
Soft pop up, goes back out of play. Strike one.
Watch. Those are two big people right here getting together. How about that center fielder for the Twins? Does he make a great play like every night?
Yeah, Revere.
Yeah.
He is very good. He really is.
Can he hit?
Don't know. Line drive left field line. J.D. Martinez.
Good play. Good play. Yeah.
Well done for the third out. No runs, no hits. 2 men left. Brewers are up, and this catch keeps them from moving further ahead than 8-2.
Greatest legends. This week it's Bob Feller. Boys in the Hall, Sundays presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat.
Marco Estrada's in the game with Milwaukee up 8-2. He's 4-8 with a 4.25 ERA in 37 appearances this season. 28 years old, from Sonora, Mexico.
Brewer bullpen was very good in last night's game, and Cameron Lowe outstanding in his effort here tonight. Now he passes it off to Estrada, 4-8, 4.25 ERA for the right-hander. Pretty solid numbers. He's made a handful of starts this year, as well as working out of the bullpen for Ron Renicke's club.
He made 3 starts in a row when Narveson was on the DL. And pitched very well. 2-1 with a 1.59 ERA in those games. So he's helped to keep things together for this Milwaukee club. And now after Cameron Lowe had 2 perfect innings with a strikeout, he works the 8th.
As we mentioned earlier, the Brewers don't have a left-handed reliever currently on their roster. But he's a guy who's been very good against left-handed hitting, so he may be kind of a situational guy to get lefties out for Ron Renicky in the postseason. We'll see how things shake out. Narveson could find his way into the bullpen. In previous years, you would have thought, well, maybe Randy Wolf would work out of the pen as well, but I think that the new format is probably going to be more of a need for a 4th starter. Not as many off days in the postseason.
That's a good format. As Baggy was saying earlier, as close as you can make the playoffs to the regular season would be a very desirable goal. Use maybe 4 starters in a series.
Well, you'll find out the better team.
Yeah.
Or you might not, but there's another underhand. I've never seen this in my entire life. That's 4 times we've seen underhanded throws. What is going on?
No idea. No idea.
Only me coming in Saturday.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
you.
see all that. It is me. My fault.
You brought the underhand throw to this game, Baggy.
That's because I can't throw overhand.
They're doing it out of tribute to you.
I'm going to throw my golf ball to the caddy. That's about it.
Carlos Lee with a 2-run homer. Takes strike 1.
Carlos strike.
It's late. David Carpenter's warming up for Houston.
Told you.
Right. There it is. In the air and out to right center field. And that's dropping in front of Nigel Morgan.
Wow. Good for Carlos.
Carlos 2 for 4.
Two speedy guys in pursuit. Neither one of them really able to take charge. Ball was in the air a long time.
It was.
Sure was.
Yep. Well, Carlos takes a 14-game hitting streak to tomorrow's game. 2 hits on his bobblehead night. Jimmy Paredes is 0 for 3. Carlos Marmol gave it up today in a 4-run Pittsburgh 9th inning. Pirates beating the Cubs 7-5. Marmol getting a blown save and a loss.
He's got a bunch of those this year, doesn't he?
Sure does. He has 9 blown saves. Whoa, that's a ton. Strike to Paredes.
I think Mariano Rivera's had 9 blown saves his entire life. He's had 3 this year.
David Carpenter in the bullpen. Brett Wallace on deck preparing to pinch hit. Strike makes it 0-2 to Paredes. The Cardinals winning today over Cincinnati. The Brewers lead will stay 8.5 if they win this one. They're trying to make it 28 wins in the last 36 games. Strikeout.
Harder than 91, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Here's evidence for you.
That's the highlight of the year right there.
The JD foul ball catch.
God, he was standing up. Whoa. And you gave a
like T
Brewer stuff.
Yeah. Act like you've been there before, right?
Now Brett Wallace, the pinch hitter for the pitcher Abreu. Abreu had a scoreless inning with 2 hit batsmen and a strikeout. Strike 1 to Wallace, who pitch hit last night as well. He had good numbers when he went back to Oklahoma City. 267 for the Astros, 4 homers, 26 runs batted in. He struck out looking in the 9th inning last night off the bench. Only had 1 home run for the Red Hawks, but hit for a high average, high on base average as well. Strike, and it's 0-2 to Wallace. Wallace started out with the Astros like a house of fire. Great first month of the year. Had 104 at bats for the Red Hawks, hitting .356 with a .437 on base average. Fouls it away. Still 0-2. Wallace and Chris Johnson were the opening day corner infielders for the Astros, and then they both, of course, good friends. Went down to Oklahoma City at the same time, came back up at the same time. A trip they would rather not have made, but nonetheless they are back with a chance to show something in September. And one of the keys, Baggy, you didn't really go through this, but you know, with the players in that situation, high hopes to start the season. Right. Doesn't work out real well. You go back to AAA. The organization is always watching for attitude of players when they get demoted.
Yeah, and they are. And you're just trying to figure out exactly, can the kids survive? Can they come back from adversity? That's the big thing.
You are actually, you know, one of the few guys who didn't have to go back. You know, anymore it's the trend to have to go back for more seasoning once you arrive in the big leagues.
Yeah, and part of that I found out on this side is, you know, we're talking about arbitration eligible, all that kind of stuff, but you got to figure out if guys can play or not. Oops. They strike a lot tonight.
2-2 with Barmas on deck.
I was very, very fortunate. That's all I could say is I got a chance to play. We knew we were going to lose, and I got a chance to play, and they just let me play.
Pop-up fielder.
I don't think he wants to catch this.
Oh, the back pedal line, he caught it with some style to win the 8th inning with no runs a hit and a man left. We go to the 9th inning. It's 8-2 Milwaukee. Then went to the 5th and started playing add-on. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th inning. Now it's 8-2 Brewers. They're on their way, it would appear, to win number 83 of the year. David Carpenter comes in to face them in the 9th inning with an 0-2 record at 3.44 ERA.
At 6, 7, 8 coming up for the Milwaukee Brewers. Taylor Green, good-looking young left-handed hitter, will get things started. The numbers on Carpenter, pretty good. 18 1/3 big league innings this year after really pitching well down on the farm. Acquired last year for Pedro Feliz in a deal with the St. Louis Cardinals.
That deal's looking very good right now. Green set to lead it off. The home plate umpire goes out to take a look at the baseball. Kerwin Danley.
He's just reminding him that warnings have been issued to both sides.
Okay. Frankie De La Cruz is warming up for the Brewers. Congratulations to Cheo Cruz, who became a grandfather in Houston. to an 8-pound, 11-ounce baby boy to his daughter Shakira.
Shakira.
Strike one. Liner out to center field. Schwab with a catch. One out to Carpenter.
He's hit the ball hard all night long.
Good looking young player. Gutierrez has a homer, a triple, and a single, leaving him a double shy of the cycle.
Watch how hard he comes out of the box if he hits a routine single somewhere.
Hits that one a long way to center field.
That's not a routine single.
No, it is not. Another extra base hit.
He got a cycle.
Double. And that is his cycle.
Is that a cycle?
Yep.
Cycle.
I gotta start paying attention. Oh, okay. There we go.
George Kataris. My goodness.
Well, in a lineup with Braun and Fielder, it's Kataris who gets the cycle for the Brewers tonight.
Yeah, it's Green and Kataris who have had the best swings and both done their fair share of damage, but there's a lot of guys that have contributed to this one for the Brewers up and down that lineup. But this has got to be his best day as a major leaguer.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Career .213 hitter coming into this season. Craig Counsell lined a 2-run homer. There's ball one. He's 1 for 4. That's a rare moment.
Yeah, he would have. If that ball stays in play, he's got a tough decision to make, whether to go for 3 or settle in and cruise in at second for his cycle.
I know what Biggio would have done. Arm pad off, standing there while it's rolling around off the hill. Sorry, kid, I can't help it.
Last Brewer to hit for a cycle was Jody Garrett.
Jimmy just teased me up on these stuff.
Kind of threw you a little hanger there.
Cycle, of course, for George Gutierrez, and the first Brewer to do it since May 8th of 2010. Jody Garrett.
Jody Garrett.
Logan Schaefer's a pinch hitter.
Somebody's got to dig that ball out from the bottom of that ivy or whatever the heck it was.
Strike to Schaefer, who came in last night to pinch run and scored a run.
How rare is the cycle? Is it rare or no?
Yes, it is rare.
It is?
I'm surprised somebody did it so recently for Milwaukee, too. Luke Scott, the last Astro to do it, was in 06. No balls, 2 strikes. Marco Estrada in 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs, had a strikeout. And a strikeout there. Ends the top of the 9th inning with no runs, a hit, and the runner stranded. 8-2 Milwaukee. a look at those 4 hits tonight.
And nothing cheap about him. The irony is the double and the triple probably hit further than the home run. He went to the big part of the ballpark for those two and then pulled his home run pretty much straight away right field. A big night for Guitars, who's the backup to Jonathan LaCroix, who's a pretty good offensive player in his own right.
Now he leaves the game with the changes here. Casey McGee comes in to play first base for Prince Fielder. Martin Maldonado's making his major league debut as the catcher, and the pitcher is Frankie De La Cruz.
The Guitarist is kind of interesting because he hits for the cycle tonight. He'd only had 3 home runs prior to this game. He had no triples, and he only had 5 doubles. So the likelihood that he would get all 3 of those in one game, my goodness.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Staggering figures.
Yeah. It's probably too late for him to go out and buy a Powerball, but I suggest if he has a chance, he'd go do that.
Clint Barmas will lead it off here in the home 9th inning after the changes made by Ron Renicky. Barmas has walked twice and hit a fly ball to right. Corporan will be due up second, and then Shuck is going to be the 3rd batter in the inning against Frankie De La Cruz. Whoa.
After some warnings have been already issued.
Yeah. Yes. Around the head.
That ball just slipped out of his hands.
That's like Abreu, just a young kid, just airmailing one, but
still,
yeah.
And he paints away.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
1-1. De La Cruz, 27 years old, from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He's been in the big leagues with Detroit, Florida, and San Diego. Popped up. Martin Maldonado making his major league debut. That's the pop-up. 1 out. The ball finds the new guy.
Yeah.
That stinks, too. The first ball is right at your dome. You take one away, and then you pop up to the catcher.
Yeah.
The game does not give you anything.
No, it doesn't. Carlos Corporan is 0 for 2 with a walk. Oh, isn't that the truth? Now back, strike 1. $13 hits for the Brewers. They've stranded 10. The Astros have 5 hits. They've left 7. Each club with an error tonight. Finale of the series tomorrow at 1:05. McGee takes care of out number 2. It's Wandy Rodriguez and Sean Markham tomorrow at 1:05 on My 20. And the Monday game in Pittsburgh will be a My 20 telecast as well. 12:30 airtime for Henry Sosa and James McDonald.
12:30 on Monday?
12:30 on Monday. Labor Day.
Games at 1:05?
Games at 12:30.
It is at 12:30?
Yeah.
When's the last time we had a 12:30 game here?
I can't remember.
Maybe like a Saturday Fox game?
Maybe. Pretty early.
Yeah, but it's a road game. It's in Pittsburgh. It's 1:35 Pittsburgh time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ball 1.
So you'll have to make sure you get your round of golf in before you come home and watch.
Right. Listen to your telecast.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can turn
So
it
you
off
can
around
mute
the
it.
6th inning,
Yeah.
so I don't have to hear you guys make up stuff.
When you DVR it, do you mute it when you DVR it?
Yeah. I can only take you once.
Small doses. Once every other Saturday is about all you can handle.
If I got to work with you, then other Saturdays I can't even listen anymore.
You might have to work every home Saturday, but you don't have to listen the rest of
No,
the time.
I don't. Just mute it.
Oh, 3 balls and a strike. B.B. Shuck from Ohio State. Ohio State began a new football era under a different head coach today. High ball to left. And the Brewers are a little step closer to clinching this division as they win this one to take the first 2 games of this series, get their 83rd win of the season. De La Cruz gets the final 3 outs. They've won 28 of their last 36. Final score, Milwaukee 8, Houston 2.